Hey, Jesse. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Yeah, sure. I'm all for helping you guys out in our community.
Well, I just want to say thank you too for coming on to our show. And but truly though, the real reason why we want you on here is because we got to do something about fucking Gatr. He's going behind our backs trying to sell us out to every guest that we have ever had on here, trying to get us into the damn stratosphere or some shit like that. Wouldn't it be cool to turn the tables on his ass?
Yeah, and it's getting annoying, I have to admit. Recycling old podcast bits.
Yeah. That is annoying.
So, what do you think? Do you want to make a go at it?
I don't know, man. I've retired from gaming from my DTP royalties, and I'm looking into going pro on the disc golf circuit. So, I don't know. Why not?
Hey guys, what's up? Oh, hey, JC's here. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming tonight.
Yeah, sure, man.
A Gatr?
Yeah, man, what's up?
You gotta go, man. Jesse's taking our spot. You've just been way too toxic these past few weeks, trying to sell us out for pod downloads. So, bye, Felicia.
Whoa. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I didn't mean to be toxic these past weeks. I've been a little stressed at work. My wife is pissed at me about some of those damn Discord questions. My dog got sick. It farts in my damn office all the time. I had a hurricane staring me down, playing chicken with me. I mean, what the hell, guys? These were just jokes, jokes.
Well, joke's on you, bud.
What the fuck is going on here? Is this some kind of sick nightmare?
All right, guys. Let's talk about my rider. I like hot baths before the show, foot rubs, by Hazel specifically. I need one bottle of Fireball, one 12-pack of assorted tropical White Claws, and I think 3 packs of Jewel Pods before the show ought to do it.
Easy. I think we fucked up, dude.
Gatr.
Guardian down.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 7 of Guardian Downcast. We are 3 dads that talk about anything Destiny, gaming, and entertainment. I'm your host, the Gatr, and Hazel and Easy are here to assist in my tomfoolery. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
All right.
Well, to start things off, I wanted to introduce our guest of the show. He's the frontman of the long-running podcast Distinguished Gentleman Presents, which still has surprise episodes from time to time. Also, you may have known it as Dad's Tales podcast. JCJesse, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Nothing much.
Super. All right. Well, just a PSA, that intro, quote, comedy bit is now officially retired. So I think, I don't think I can think of anyone better than JCJesse to put it to bed. So thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it had some steam to go at least another 3 months.
No, it's done. It's done. I think our viewers have voiced their opinion. So, and if Hazel has to do another script, I think he's going to go crazy.
Yes, I will. I can't think of a better person, like you said, to send this thing out. Thank God it's over.
Absolutely.
Let's let the healing begin, okay?
All right, here we go. So just an overview of tonight's show. We're going to get to know JCJesse's story. We're going to catch up on the past week. Me and Hazel are going to talk about the latest news from Bungie, including the latest quality of life patch. A special segment of the show in our guest honor, Guardian's Choice. Then we'll test JCJesse's fast thinking with our special fast fire session we call the Speed Run. I kind of heard he's out for blood and destined to take that top spot from Nips and Fudd. We'll see.
You know what? If you fucking stutter or if this Discord craps out, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
You're going to buy me a beer and then toss it on my head? Yeah. Fudd's already told me that. Then finally, we'll answer Twitter and Discord questions from our community. Add 2 songs each from everyone here for our Guardian Downcast Spotify playlist. Damn, it's another quality night, guys. So let's get started. Now it's time to interview our guest, Mr. JCJesse. We're just going to call Justin tonight. Hey, I wanted to mention on your last DGP, you didn't understand why I wasn't on your show. I just wanted to answer that question before we talk to you. I felt that if I wasn't asked, I felt like you guys were too busy to kind of have me on. So I guess lesson learned, I guess. You know, I was a patron
Yeah, I put it out there to all the patrons. I know that I put it out to Drafty and Hazel because, you know, they were, you know, our PS4 admins, you know, and I felt like I got the cold shoulder, you know what I mean? And
quite honestly,
you know what? It is what it's water under the bridge, fellas, and that's why I'm here tonight.
I'm not putting this on you.
I didn't hear my name in there anyway. I don't remember.
You're on AMP. You're on AMP.
Hold on.
I'm kidding.
And you are?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm not putting this on you, Justin. I don't think I had the nerve. Enough about me. Tell us.
I was just busting your balls.
I know you were. I just go along for the ride. Hey, man.
I was raiding actually the one night that you asked me to come on.
Mm-hmm.
I was raiding.
Is that a backhanded, like that one night?
That sounded
It sounded backhand. That one night you asked me. And after that, I was like, fuck that Hazel guy.
Yeah.
He's Hazel Nut coming on my show.
Hazel Nut coming on. I love it. Soundbite. All right. Good deal. Hey, Justin, tell us a bit about yourself, man.
Oof. I don't know. I'm an Aquarius. I've been thrice children, varying ages from 14 to 5.
Golly.
You have two boys and a girl, correct?
Yeah, that's right. She just started high school. She started high school this week, and then I have one in 5th grade, and then one just started kindergarten. He just had his first bus ride yesterday. That was very exciting.
Did he look back at you? Fudd had an issue where his daughter wasn't looking back at him.
No, he did. No, and I was videotaping, and I tried to tell them, like, get on the bus last. And they did not listen. And then they're just in this group of people, and I'm stressed out because, you know, my wife is like, get pictures, get video. And I'm like screaming to them. And then today's the second day of getting them to the bus. And I've recently got rid of cable, so I don't have any cable boxes to tell me what time it is. And so the bus gets there at 8:18, and I was like 8:16. I was like, get your asses in the car, let's go. So we like drove to the bus stop and like honking the horn going down the street, and they stopped the bus, and I'm like fist pumping out of the car, like, we made it. So yeah, it's been a stressful week. But about myself, I mean, if anybody here has listened to my podcasts that I've been on, you pretty much know. But if not, you know, I'm a podcaster, been gaming for a while, you know, helped start an awesome community that has, you know, I guess kind of helped foster other communities, and that's pretty cool. Something that I know that we're very proud of. I don't know. I'm an open book. Anything you want to know. It's funny. You asked me that. It's a little difficult for me to figure out what to tell you.
It was a little broad. We kind of let our guests just decide what they want to tell
thanks for letting me just flounder out here. I appreciate that.
We like our guests to start off.
Absolutely.
Good job.
As possible.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable as possible. Yeah. So what's your gaming history, sir?
So, I mean, I've been playing since early 80s. You know, I guess my earliest memory is I think my grandfather brought home the Atari, and I remember playing like Pitfall, and there was some fishing game, and so but it goes back about that far. You know, I'm in my early 40s, so I go back at least that far. Played, you know, obviously Nintendo like most people have. I took a break for a while, so I kind of missed out on some stuff, and then kind of came back in Xbox 360. It's when my kids were younger. You know, I didn't really have much time for having like real friends, no less, being able to game or do anything. I mean, you know what it's like. You have young kids, and it's just like fucking tunnel vision. and then got back into it and really didn't have anybody to play with. And, just, I don't even remember why. I was just thinking, I just started thinking like, man, I wish there was other dads to play with, like people that had the same schedule as me. And then that kind of led into finding some communities, and then kind of led into creating, I guess, our own community based around that. And it's blossomed since then. It's not just dads, it's all kinds of people. So yeah, I mean, since Destiny came out, I mean, I've played it since the alpha on PS4. So I do kind of miss that. I now that I have the cross save, my Xbox account has taken over everything, so I don't have that old. Well, I guess it's still on. That's Destiny 1 that I would have the founder's emblem, but I was always really proud of that.
Yeah, I've got that one.
But
too.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm just that's pretty much all I've been playing ever since. I mean, it's the same story for a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's like you pick up Destiny and then you start buying other games, and you don't play those other games.
I know, man. I know all about it.
I just sit around
staring at 20 games right here that are still in their wrapper, dude.
Yeah, I it's funny. Like I was telling you guys, I just bought a new monitor, and I was like, I want to try and supplement this to make it as easy on my bank account as possible. So I just looked at this whole stack of games. I was like, I'm never gonna fucking play these. I'm only gonna play Destiny when it comes out. So and I don't even like putting in discs anymore. I just want to have it there. So anything I buy now is all digital download. So I figure, you know what? Fucking God of War, Spider-Man, I'll buy it for $20 when it goes on sale or some shit like that. And they're probably already like $20 now, and I'll never play them. So that probably won't happen.
Now you can look at them in your hard drive and go, Destiny's getting bigger.
Yeah.
Push that one out.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain things that I keep, like I kept Red Dead, but I'll probably download that when it goes on. I think it is on sale now, actually. So I might buy that digitally, because there's certain games that I just like to have, like, even if I'm not going to play them. Like, I like to have GTA 5 just because I think it's an amazing game. It's a huge world. You can just go in and like fuck around and, do whatever you want. I'm not the kind of guy who goes in there and like, picks up hookers or anything like that. I just like driving around and stealing airplanes and stuff like that, or going to the barber shop or riding the train around. Like going up into the mountains and fucking, hunting a bobcat or some shit. But it's fun to do that. If you guys want to, if you have it, you can come join me in my penthouse. Feel free to stop on by. But yeah, it's the only thing I play. It's the only thing I want to play. Even when it was shitty, it's like Destiny is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Well, what's with the gamer tag? Lay it on us. It sounds very intricate, and there's a long story that goes behind it.
Much like Lady Gaga, Easy, I was born this way.
Another soundbite.
There it is. There it is.
I mean, it's so not creative. I wish my name was like, like Dragonfire, like XX481 or some shit like that. Like, that would be awesome if I got on people like, hey, Dragonfire, like, yeah, man, but no, it's my fucking initials and my last name. So stupid. I don't even know why. I think it's because like it was my Instagram account at one point, and then I had my original gamer tag was Nundercover, and that is because this is I don't know if I have told this fucking story before, but if you've ever seen the movie Hudson Hawk with Bruce Willis and Andy McDowell, and
it's been a while.
I remember that movie.
So Andy McDowell she works for the Vatican, and she is an undercover nun, and I just thought it would be amazing to have like a movie called Nundercover. So I went by Nundercover for a while, and then I was like, oh, I don't think people understand that. It won't think you could be calling me Nun right now for all I know if I hadn't changed it. But I was like, you know what? I'll change it to JCJesse. Like, I have everything else. It's very boring, and it's kind of a mouthful, even though it's a very short name. But yeah. It's ruined my life. I'm a real mouthful.
All right, it's time to get deep. Time to get deep undercover. here we go. I
Oh boy. Oh boy.
good. I'm good. You guys finally got that reference. Nice.
That fan on his balls there is he's getting
it's so great, man. That fan's so awesome. All right, I'm gonna get deep here. What is it? I asked Fudd this a couple weeks ago. What is it that makes you want to push that broadcast button, man? What is it? What is it that gets you going to do that?
I don't know. I think it's like just once you start creating something. I mean, I think I've always been like a creative person, in one way or another. Like I like to draw. I'm not really that good at it. I like to paint. I'm not really that good at it. I like to podcast. I'm not really that good at it. You'd think as long as I've been doing it, I'd be better. I'm not.
Weren't you in some sort of like? Weren't you like in theater arts or something like that? I can't.
Yeah, no, I was. I was in like a Glee type show choir. And this is, oh boy, this is now you're really
we're getting deep, man.
Now you're really getting deep here. So my dad was never into sports, and he was barely home, and it was just him and I. Never into sports, never got me into sports. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and my grandparents were always into like, oh shit, sorry.
Outletted it.
Into their cell phones, into collecting.
Yeah, sorry.
That's what he meant to say.
I apologize. This is very important stuff here. Yeah, it's gonna rain tomorrow. My wife needs me to take my daughter to school.
Cool.
So fuck, I gotta wake up early. God damn it. Anyway, so yeah, so my grandparents were really into theater, and they took me to a lot of plays. They had a lot of friends that were in like musical theater, like local stuff, and so they got me into it. And my grandfather would always tell me, he's like, you're gonna be on Johnny Carson someday, and that was a TV host way back when, late night TV host for some of you people out there. But, I was the kind of kid where, I used to do like weird impressions. My grandparents would take me to their friend's party, and I would be doing like Henny Youngman impressions and fucking Sammy Davis Jr. and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
wow, nice.
Stuff that they would get. And so I don't know. And then I kind of got me into that. And I kind of did it all through school, and did it through high school. And honestly, I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't for theater chicks.
Yeah.
And so, so that played a big part of it too. And I don't know, I just liked it. I like being on the stage in front of everybody, but it's funny because all my friends played sports. So I would do a play, and there'd be like, all the fucking jocks in the back, like doing the Arsenio Hall, like, whoa, 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 like in the back, at the end of the play or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I always liked it. And I have a few friends that actually went into theater, and one of them was a stage manager on Broadway for years. Another one is still like a working actor in New York. Another one of my friends went out to LA, and he would do like fucking, he'd be like the kid at the beginning of Law and Order that they would bring in, the guy would be like, all right, so tell me where you found them at. Oh, I know you were doing drugs at that party. I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't at that party. So, like that guy. And, and then he actually created some theater group out there. So yeah, but I did not choose that route because we didn't have any money. So I couldn't go to college right away. I had to like kind of pay for my, I worked for a little bit, and then, I ended up paying for myself to go to college. But I always loved doing it. And my daughter's really into it now. So that's cool.
That's
yeah.
Awesome, man.
So I have my two boys, my middle son he's like my jock, and my wife, she was real big into sports. So my middle son, he plays a lot of sports. My youngest one is getting into it too, but my daughter is a dancer, and she's in plays and stuff like that. So,
Cool.
But it's funny, when we ride together in the car, she's constantly playing show tunes, and I cannot even take it. It's like, we were riding home from the supermarket the other night, and she's like, this is from the new Beetlejuice musical. And I'm like, this is the soundtrack to hell. Please turn this off.
Well, hey, speaking of podcast, I noticed you had 3 podcast episodes that you put out before the regular DTP stuff, and it was on individual interviews with your close friends in real life and in gaming. Do you plan on doing that again?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I do want to do that again. It's funny, like taking that time off, I really didn't feel the pressure to do it anymore. And that was kind of nice. So I just kind of did it. But then it got to a point where, well, I knew I was going to be on Potato Thumbs. And I thought, wow, this would be great if I released all these episodes like right when I went on to Potato Thumbs, and I could kind of tell Nips and Fluffy that, hey, I did this new show and it's up right now. Go check it out. Because I kind of like the theatrics of that, I guess.
Sure,
I always kind of did that stuff on the show too. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I definitely have people in mind for that.
Cool.
Both people from the podcast / gaming community and real life friends as well. So yeah, it's cool. And it was a tough decision to leave, because we did have this. Well, we do have this awesome community, and I in no way do I feel like the community needed us to do the podcast, but I like that Dad Tales is back now, and it kind of, yeah, it felt really really good to do that with those guys.
Good.
And so I was really excited, and it was great to see that everybody from the DGP community was excited to see it as well. And I thought it would be cool to just kind of surprise everybody and be like, hey, here's this thing. Again, I thought it'd be cool to surprise everybody and just put it out there, and like not saying like, hey, you got any podcast questions or anything like that? Like, no, we're just gonna do it when we do it, and hopefully it won't be too infrequent. I mean, I know that we were already talking about stuff today for the next one, whenever that may be. So
nice. I love that format, dude. It's like stealth episodes. I love it. I mean, it creates a lot of hype. People are humming and can't wait for the next one to come out.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. And plus, like, there's nothing really on that feed anymore except for the what's your favorite and that. And I don't know. I mean, maybe something will pop into my head and I'll pop on the mic. I mean, that's the cool thing about kind of moving everything from Distinguished Gentlemen's Podcast to Distinguished Gentlemen Presents, and not really throwing away that brand, because I like the idea of Distinguished Gentlemen, but and also, like, I don't feel like changing all the clan tags.
Yeah,
and it's a fucking pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass.
I don't know, man. Even your artistry, all your artwork and stuff, that's a great brand, man. I love it. I really like it. I like it a lot. And so so it kind of frees up to be like, hey, let's do this, and just kind of put whatever up on that feed, and see if people like it. If you don't, then there'll be something else there, and it doesn't have to be a DTP episode. It doesn't have to be a what's your favorite or whatever. Like, right. I can do whatever. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into a deep dive here. I want to know the very first time you met those 3 crazy guys, Stu, Baroque, and Boost.
So I met Boost first. We were in I was in this thing called a Dad's Hideout. That was the first dad community I found.
Okay.
And then from there, I don't know, it didn't really do anything, I felt like. And there was one guy that kind of organized everything, and he was like, hey, I'm starting this thing, it's called Dad's Gaming. And so I was like, okay, cool. Well, whatever you need. And so we had like a site, and we do like a blog, and it was fun. And then like me and a bunch of the guys decided to start the podcast. And anyway, in Dad's Gaming, I met Boost, and then Baroque, we're running Vault of Glass, and we needed somebody else, like someone to come in and help us out or Sherpa us through oracles or something like that. And all of a sudden, and someone's like, oh, I know somebody that's on. I even forget who invited him.
Wow, okay.
And all of a sudden, this hunter showed up out of nowhere. And I remember he wasn't even wearing he didn't have a cape on. It was just that little scarf.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was I love that.
Who is this fucking guy? And like, he was on point. He knew exactly what to do and where to stand. And when I'm like fucking in raids. I'm like a 5-year-old at a little league game. I'm just in the outfield, like looking around, like, just tell me what to shoot, dude. And he did exactly that. And, he picked up the Oracle the Chalice, and was fucking breaking all the Oracles. And that was it. And that was when I met Boost. That was when I met Baroque. And then it was around like Kingsfall time, where I met Stu, and I forget who even fucking knew Stu. But I knew we would be in like Kingsfall, and then like somebody would like, if somebody like dropped out. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he was like watching us raid or like watching to see if someone would drop out, or if we needed a 6th or something like that.
Wait a minute. He was spectating?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
But I just know that he would like pop into our party and be like, "Hey guys, you guys need a 6th in here?"
And then also accent, I'm sure.
And he would just like, or he would just fucking join up. I think like at some points,
man,
like
classic.
if somebody like dropped out, all of a sudden fucking Stu would just appear.
Nice.
And like doing that raid is where like the Stu songs. I remember the night we were doing was it fucking Golgoroth? We were just, I don't know, we were just laughing about something, and I just started going, Stooby, Stooby, Stew, where are Stew? And then like everybody just started like picking songs that had you in them or any ooh and putting Stew in it. And that's where that kind of came about. And then from there, we just decided to start Dad Tales. And then not too soon after that, the other community that we were in wasn't really supportive of what we were doing. And so we're like, you know what, let's make our own community. So then we started the Discord, and then we started the clan, and then it was pretty fast and furious for a while. Like, I mean, it was really, really, I mean, this was like heyday of D1, and everybody was playing, and we had a lot of members. And, I don't know how many people are in all the clans right now. I mean, to be honest with you, I just kind of let that go a little bit. If somebody messaged me that someone's being an asshole or something like that, like I'll try and police that a little bit, and luckily that's only happened a couple times where I've had to kick people out of the clan. It really sucks too, but hey, don't be a racist asshole and I won't kick you out of the clan. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, you have 3 100-member clans, or close to 100 members. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like for a while, it's like, oh shit, we got to add another fucking clan on. Like, dude, this is crazy.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so it was pretty amazing. I mean, it's awesome to be a part of starting, and then obviously, Dad Tales turned into Distinguished Gentlemen, and then that turned into, Distinguished Guardians, because there are women in the clan. And so it's been pretty amazing to be a part of that. And Destiny 2 really kind of took a dive as far as like, clan activity. I think, you guys may have been like more active on the PS4 side than Xbox was. I'm kind of like, it's funny, you start a community thinking like, oh, I'm going to game with all these people. And then you just end up playing with the same people you play all the time. And I always wonder like, oh, does no one want to play with us? Like, or I'll like message people like, hey, what's going on? You guys want to play? Or, I don't know.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember when you guys jumped on
PS4.
It's
kind of weird.
You jumped on PS4 for the night and said, hey, this new Gatr dude, let's invite him. I don't know what you guys might have just been looking for somebody. I was like, I got in there, I was like, hi fellas, what's going on?
No.
Is this really Stu, guys?
No, but I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome, to have brought people together that have had experiences themselves with other clan mates. And
yeah.
I don't know. I love that.
Well, I think it's pretty cool. So you probably don't know how I heard about you, but I was on Twitter and I used to try to message, all the DTP guys and not the DTP, but the Planet Destiny guys and whatnot. You try to be a part of the community, or I did, at least in D1. And I reached out to Pope Bear. I was like, dude, do you know of any dads clans anywhere? Because I don't want to play with a bunch of kids. And it took like 48 hours, but he responded. and he responded with your clan. And so y'all must have made waves somewhere to make it all the way up the chain there to where y'all are within target of that target audience. So I think that's pretty cool. And that says quite a bit.
Yeah, he's a really good, he was a really good dude. And he was a really good guest too. You know, when we started out with Dad Tales, it was all about like trying to reach out to all these people that were like pretty big in the Destiny community. One, because it was interesting. Two, because I thought like, wow, I want to get this podcast going. And if I get these people on, then maybe their people will listen to us. And I think that, I mean, obviously, you know, that's the reason why you do a podcast. You want people to listen to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that at that time, it's not a Patreon thing. It's not any of that. Like, and trust me, nobody's getting rich off of fucking Patreon or podcast t-shirts. I don't know. Maybe Fluffy is. He's got like fucking 20 t-shirts now for Potato Thumbs. All fantastic, by the way. Please go check out Potato Thumbs store. But you know, our first guest was Dr. Lupo, and that was like, I mean, he was probably getting like, I don't know, 200 viewers, 300 viewers at that time. Like, it wasn't a lot. Like, he had some really cool YouTube videos, and they were doing the trials carries, and he had carried me through trials before I was ever on the show. Did not remember me. And that was pretty cool to have that relationship with him. And he's always been really great and very gracious with his time with us. You know, he was our first guest. He was our last guest. He was on our 100th episode when we did it live on Twitch and fucking hosted us with like, I don't know, 15,000 people.
That was crazy, man.
Like, can you imagine that? Like, and it's in the middle of me doing what did he say or whatever the fuck that bit was, said, and it just kept going. And I'm like, fucking wrap it up, me, wrap that shit up.
I watched that first episode, dude. That was awesome. That was an awesome.
Yeah, and you know, I talked to some really great people, and that was really great. And then towards the end, I felt like, I don't think we need to do that anymore. Like, I want to talk to people that I know, because it gets kind of awkward. You know what I mean? If you don't know them, there's a point in the conversation where you're trying to be yourself, but you can't be yourself because they don't know who you are. Like, they won't get your jokes, because I guarantee you, like 9 times out of 10, maybe 10 times out of 10, you have a Twitch streamer on. They probably don't listen to podcasts, and they sure as hell had never listened to your podcast before. Yeah. Well, that's not true. I think some people would do their research and they would listen to us beforehand, but you know, we would have some people on that maybe just didn't jive. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people that were really quiet, which kind of made for not as exciting of an episode as I would hope, because I always we always wanted it to be funny and fun. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are like that, but then some people just aren't. And we wanted to have people on that we knew our friends and that we could joke around with, and we always had similar interests and stuff like that, like, you know, your Elmer Fuds or your, you know, Fluffy and Nips and Steve and Ben and Elmer and Danfinity and Mark Square, and you know, and I genuinely love all those guys to death. I think they are fucking amazing people, and there's a reason why you listen to people's podcasts and they have the same people on over and over again. It's because we all enjoy each other's company. Yeah. And we share the same jokes, and you know, it's you know, and Jay's on our show now, so okay. But like, you know what I mean? It's just it kind of turned into something different, and it's not so much of what name in the Destiny community can we have on the show this week, right? You know, right? It made it more comfortable, and I think it kind of took the show in a different direction that I think in the end we liked that way better. It was cool to get to talk to all those people, and then, you know, go out to the Destiny 2 reveal and get to meet all those people in real life, you know. And, you know, I mean, I don't know how many years I've been standing in line with fucking, you know, Destin Legary and CJ and CJ Gibson, who, you know, we would DM each other and just like out of the blue, or he would say something, or I would get in contact with him, and you know, we had him on, and it was a Sunday night, and the guy fucking drove to IGN office podcast with us. And then we ended the podcast, and he's like, you guys want to play some Destiny? And like, the other guys had to leave, and Broke and I were like, fuck yeah. So we went and played Crucible with CJ for like an hour after the show, you know. And meanwhile, awesome, this guy's got to work the next morning, and he's got 3 boys at home and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. People give you your time like that, and those are people that are like genuine, and you're like, this guy is the fucking real deal, like a super super nice guy.
Man, that had to be.
Sorry, that was a really long answer.
That's okay. No, I love it, man.
I talk. You guys got to stop me.
No, I love it. I want to hear your story, man. This is what this podcast is about. We want to deep dive and get to know people better. I mean, when I listened to Jay's podcast, I was like, God, this is such a great idea. Getting to know people in the community, and there's a lot of people out there that want to tell their story, and I was one of them. I was planning on being on AMP, and I was scheduled to go on, but then, of course, we know what happened. But, we've been trying to get Jay on our show, but his riders are way too excessive, man. It's crazy what he wants us to get on this show. So
I
might have to take a second mortgage. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But
I could imagine. I mean, just think about what I had to do to get him on my show.
I can't even, man.
I told him, I was like, Jay, my arm can't reach that long to Los Angeles, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming out tonight. You guys got
the next episode, I'll tell you about all the people fucking dicks.
Okay, good.
Or I'll tell you that when we get off air.
That's a deal, man. That's a deal. Hey, Hazel and Easy, you got any more questions for him?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate you coming on, and I hope you can hang out for the rest of the show, man.
Absolutely. I've been enjoying the podcast every week. It's great. Can I just talk about last week?
Sure.
and talking about this community?
Mm-hmm.
So Skull Reaper, I'd seen him in the Discord, like popping in, and I had no idea that he like 14 years old.
15, I think.
15?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
I mean,
he handles himself.
I had no idea, and I didn't know he was Final Vengeance kid. Like, this kid, I mean, I was just listening to that. I was like, he is a really, really good kid, and I was really impressed with just how he handled himself on the show. And it was funny, he was talking about like the show that he was into was fucking Star Trek, and dude, it's Star Trek: The Next Generation, no less. I'm like, you know what, bravo. I was a kid who was a freshman in high school, and I carried around, no lie, in my book bag, I carried around the schematic engineering manual for Star Trek: The Next Generation Enterprise.
Yikes! Yeah,
Nice.
You were a nerd.
Oh my god, I was an uber nerd. That's before I got.
Yeah,
I had to put that away to get laid.
Exactly. Don't let your wife see that. Yeah.
I actually have a whole list of stuff from listening to the show that I wanted to bring. It's like, man. I want to bring up that. Oh, I want to bring up this. But yeah, I'll save that.
Oh, dude. Well, hopefully this won't be the last time, man. We'd love to have you on the show again in the future. I'm looking forward to it. I love it. I really do.
Yes. You know what? Let's just get through this one first, and then we'll talk about coming back on.
Let's do that.
Cool.
Let's do that. All right. Well, thanks for joining us again, JC or Justin.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Right,
I appreciate it.
Well, let's move on to our next segment. We're going to talk about what we've been watching this week. Before I send it to you, Justin, I just want to remind you, I won that T-shirt, dude.
Yeah, man. You're 2X? All right, good to know. I've already got some idea of what I'm going to do for your I Hope You Fuck Forever shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of possibly like getting some finger paints, rubbing like a color on my ass, and then like rubbing a different color on my balls, and then like sitting on the shirt.
Xanafan's
And
told
then
me I've got to put
writing-
this on Twitter.
And then writing "I hope you fuck forever" on the front of the shirt.
Okay, I want it. I got to wear it.
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, spoiler. Well, hey Justin, what have you been watching this week, man?
So this week I watched Dave Chappelle Sticks and
Oh,
Stones.
that's great.
He's a fucking genius.
Oh.
It was so good. But my wife and I started watching Carnival Row on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
It's a really, really good show. And
What is this? What's the premise here? I don't think I've heard of this one.
So it stars Cara Delevingne from she was in Valerian.
Mhm.
She was in Suicide
Your
Squad.
dreams.
Definitely in my dreams. And then Orlando Bloom.
That's Hazel's dream.
They're the main. Yeah, he's also in my dreams. I'm not saying which one appears more, but basically the story is that it takes place. it takes place in a world where, have you ever heard of the story of Tir na Nog? It's like an Irish tale about basically a place where all these magical creatures live. You have fairies, you have what they call pucks, which are like the guys who are like Mr. Timnus, from the ward, I forget what it is. But he's, they have they're like half rams. Then there's centaurs. There's all these different creatures.
Yeah.
Witch, wardrobe,
So basically,
what was it? Witch, the wardrobe.
yeah, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's what it was. So in this world, it's a commentary on today's society in the fact that there's this war going on where they're all from, and they're fighting against this thing called the Pact. And so they're all escaping, and they're refugees in this city called the Berg. And so it's about racism towards these creatures. There are slang terms that they use for them that are offensive to them, just like there are slang terms to people of other nationalities here, right, and and everywhere. And so it's part love story, it's part like murder mystery, and it's also part like a commentary on a society where racism or speciesism exists. It's really well done. Every episode, with all these shows now, every episode is like a mini movie. The special effects is amazing. It's 8 episodes long. It was really, really, really well done. Every episode, my wife and I, we watched it in like 3 days. We blew right through it. Yeah, it was a excellent show. I loved it.
What is this called again?
It's called Carnival Row.
Okay.
It's on my
list. Sounds really good.
Yeah, it's on my list. It's on Prime Video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But last week you guys were talking about, I just want to touch on some things before I send it off, touch on some things that you guys talked about last week. So today I saw the new Jack Ryan trailer came out, and that starts November 1st. I love that show. I know you guys said it was a slow burn. I loved it from the beginning. I thought the first episode where he's at the party talking to Abby Cornish and the fucking Coast Guard comes down and they're like, Mr. Ryan, we need you. Like, that is the most baller shit I've ever seen. Cool. Like, it is fucking awesome. I love that show. I thought it was great. I love John Krasinski. I love him as Jack Ryan. I think he is amazing. What else did I have on my list here? But yeah, I'm super, super excited for Jack Ryan. And what else? I think, Hazel, you were talking that you have Dark on your list.
Yeah.
Dude, Dark that's another show that it's just like fucking, it's next level. Like the first one like blew my mind. Then we watched the second season. What's funny is my wife watched the first season and she's like, you would really like this show because we like sci-fi it's really intricate and kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Like Fringe is one of my favorite shows, and that is I think that's on Amazon now. We started watching that. We started watching that with the kids. But Dark is great. It's a German show, but the voice actors that they've dubbed in are really good, and like it matches up. That's a really great show.
So wait a minute, Dark it's not subtitles, right? It's English.
No, it's dubbed. Yeah, it's dubbed English, but it's I looked at it. It's crazy fucked up. Okay. Crazy fucked up. And we I think, Hazel, I told you that we started watching Animal Kingdom. We didn't get through. Yeah, we kind of dropped off of that, but I really liked it. But it's kind of tough when there's like 4 seasons of something. You're like, I don't know if I can make it through that.
Yeah, and it's a pretty fucked up show too.
Oh yeah, it's crazy fucked up, and you were like, yeah, it gets even more. But yeah, it was great. But you had talked to Gatr last week about Blinded by the Light. That looks so good. I saw the trailer for that. I was so pumped. And then you said you saw the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah, I did.
Now, backstory, our local radio show I listened to here, they had on, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, they had on one of the executive producers of the Peanut Butter Falcon is from this area where I'm at.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And so he was in studio, and then they had the 2 directors on the phone, and they were talking about the movie, and they wrote it and directed it, and this was their first thing ever. ever written, ever directed. They'd never done anything before. And so what they were talking about was the guy, the main character in the movie, the kid who wants to be a wrestler. They were at this camp, this acting camp that had it had kids with special needs and kids that did not have special needs. And so they took a liking to this kid. And he was telling them, like, I really want to be an actor, you know, I want to, you know, and they were just really inspired by his story. So they thought, well, you know what, fuck it. We're just going to write something around this guy. And so they took, you know, he also liked wrestling. So they took that and created this movie for him to be a star, to live out his dream.
Wow.
Like, how amazing is that?
That's awesome.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like, there's a part in the trailer where like Shia LaBeouf is giving him rules. He's like, rule number 1, don't mess with me. Rule number 2, you know, don't follow me or something like that. And he's like, what's rule number 1? And the guy's like, party. And so that's like my son Dylan and I. That's like our little joke now, because we were watching we watched the trailer a few times. Like, Dylan, what's rule number 1? He's just like, party. So
that was a funny part of the movie.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff I want to watch, but there's never enough time. When there's Destiny stuff to get done.
I'm sure Hazel's
I don't know.
farming right now.
No, I'm not farming actually. I'm not drafty. But I did finish Jack Ryan. That was some good shit. I enjoyed that. Was a little I could predict most of what was going to happen, but it was still pretty good though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm still trudging along through The Handmaid's Tale. I mean, it's one of those things you can't really binge watch because you really don't want to. But then also, I picked up 2 new shows. One of them that just came back is called The Affair. It's on Showtime. And it's a pretty unique premise where basically it's all about perception, basically. So it will show, like, basically it starts off and it's just about this guy and he's in a marriage and then he ends up having an affair with this woman. Well, the cool thing about it is that it's all about perception, right? So it's his version of it where she's like the aggressor in the affair. And then from her perspective, she's like this innocent deer in the headlights. And then it's just basically all about kind of playing with that and saying like in the season that's on right now, this person died. Well, if you pay attention to what's going on in the background, like there's a picture of this person that's at the funeral, and every person's tale, there's a different picture of the guy, and it's all basically about how they viewed this guy,
How they visualize it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It really is. It is, and it's just so much fun to watch and just go like, wow, this is just amazing. And then it also is a really cautionary tale about, you know, hey, you know, you go out and have an affair, you know, you could fuck up everything for generations almost.
Right.
But then my wife started watching a show, so of course here I am on my phone doing stuff and that, and she's watching this new show called Younger, and it's I have no idea where the hell it's on. It's on Hulu, but it's about a 40-year-old divorcee who is basically struggling to make it after her divorce. So she does the obvious thing and pretends to be a 20-year-old. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, she pretends to be a 20-year-old, and pretty much hijinks ensue and laughs are had as basically, you know, she's just trying to hide her age from everyone. I mean, it's a pretty good show. It's written by the guy who wrote Sex and the City. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I've been playing on my phone, more time watching that than playing on my phone, and I'm like, okay, all right, you got your hooks in me. So, but yeah, it's a halfway decent show. It's one of those bonding type shows.
Very cool. Yeah, I heard Handmaid's Tale from multiple people.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that.
Everybody that I've talked to says that it is really good. Like it's deep in thought, right? Like you said, you don't want to go in and binge watch it and you're like, haha, have a good time. But it's very thought provoking, and it shows an alternate reality that very well could be part of our reality, right?
Yeah. It's scary, especially if you have a daughter.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
for
don't.
sure.
So not
Yeah,
too
we
much.
watched. I watched. My wife was watching it, and it was one of those things where I was like doing stuff, walking back and forth through the room, and then I was just like found myself on the couch, like this is fucked up.
What did she say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can just imagine what scene that was that you're like, this is just fucked up, because there's a lot of that in
All
there.
of it.
Yeah, all of it. Exactly. So, Gatr, what are you up to, man?
Well, first off, I want to clarify something. I know it's been going around the community that I'm some rich dude that gets to see movies every week. Let me get this clear, okay? I know this sounds crazy that I see so many movies. I know I'm the official movie guy on the podcast here. Most of you I know have young children. It's a major pain in the ass to get a sitter, take the kid. You got to make sure the kids are fed, and you got to buy them food, et cetera, et cetera. I get that. My kids are both in college, so me and my wife love to watch movies. We've dated watching movies, so this is kind of our hobby. So I want to get that out of the way. And I feel my role here is to, one, give you guys an insight on movies that maybe you might want to decide to hire that sitter and go out and see. And then two, I can compare the Rotten Tomatoes score so Jay feels justified with his bullshit ratings of Rotten Tomatoes. I think Goose mentioned something about it this week too. So I just want to get that out of the way. Okay, that being said, I saw two movies this week. The first, I saw the 20th anniversary of The Matrix. It was in the Dolby Theater.
That's a thing?
Oh, dude, it was in the Dolby Theater, which is like, the rumble seats and full recliners, and it was great. It brought back a lot of memories, and everyone knows what The Matrix is, but that's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes score on that. It was 88% critics, 85% audience, and I think it should have been higher than that, but
Never heard of it. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's a good movie, man. You have to check it out. I'm calling bullshit on those ratings, though. It's a much better movie than that. It revolutionized the way a lot of sci-fi movies were done. The second movie I saw was... Okay, I saw Ready or Not.
Oh, yes.
And this was a funny-ass movie, dude. I didn't know... I think of... you guys know the video game Doom, right? Where you blow shit up and there's just blood spurting everywhere.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh my god.
I'm fucking giddy right now.
Dude, it is like Bloodfest Central. It is like Beetlejuice meets the video game Doom. It's very strange shit, man. I mean, it's a brain F. I don't know what to say, but we saw that. That was a movie I actually saw just last night, and I would consider it a dark comedy. But dude, there was some crazy bloody gore in this movie. Dude, please do not bring any teenage kids in there. I mean, it's gonna freaking scar them for life. So, a really good ending. I won't spoil anything. It's never my style, but definitely go see that. 87% from the pros, 79% from the audience. I think that's about right. It's worth definitely seeing. I'd give it a B. It's a really good movie. So, I also finished watching The Expanse on Prime Video. I think you and Laz, Hazel, mentioned that. I finally finished the new season. It just came out. I thought the ending was good. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's worth watching, especially if you saw the first two seasons. And my wife and I started watching on Hulu The Handmaid's Tale, and holy shit! What I love about this movie is the fact that you hear her thoughts and her voice in her head. So, saying what's going on in her mind when all this shit is going down. So I've only seen one episode, and my wife is very independent. She's a very independent woman, and she had a hard time watching this. And it's like felt like she's being punished watching this, but she definitely liked it. We looked at each other at the end and looked at each other, go, oh yeah, we're gonna definitely see this one through. So that was it for me.
Did you guys ever see the original? I mean, not the movie.
No.
It's it had
Rebecca De Mornay, yeah.
Oh.
It had Robert Duvall. He played the commander role in it, and I think it was Natasha Richardson, R.I.P. Yeah. And Faye Dunaway played the wife in that. Yeah, I remember when that came out.
I thought this was brand new. Now you're talking about that. I get it. I remember that movie. Wow.
When did that get? 1990. That game.
So is this off of like what's the Geoffrey Chaucer's, like the Knight's Tale and the this tale and then that tale?
No. This is a book by Margaret Atwood.
Okay. I didn't know if it tied in to something
It's current day.
a long time
That's
ago.
why I was asking last week if it was in the Dark Ages or something, because these women were being so mistreated. And no, it's present day, dude, or near future.
Well, I knew that the show was set in present day, but I didn't know if it was off of a premise of an old tale from a long time ago. So I am. I have two small children, so the movie theater is nowhere in sight for me. So I just watched a movie. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. It's called Avengers Endgame. Finally watched it this weekend or last Friday.
I've heard good things.
Never heard of it.
I've heard it's good though.
I was sorely disappointed. I thought that it was not very good.
End call.
I know. I knew that this was coming. But hear me out here, and maybe I missed the boat on some stuff. First off, the Captain Marvel stuff. Like, how do you have someone that's a 3 hour and 5 minute movie? How do you have a character that's in it for, I don't know, all of 6 minutes and like completely changes the whole movie? I just thought that was kind of dumb.
Actually, I think she filmed that before she filmed Captain Marvel.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, her first day on set, she was like, what am I doing? Like, she had no idea what was going on, because those movies are so secretive.
Well, just the character herself, right? So she's in the beginning for 2 minutes, and then she disappears for 3 hours, and then she comes back in the last 2 minutes and changes the whole fight and turns the tide. I don't know. My wife and I were like, whatever.
I get that.
Just Captain America. So he decides to go live an alternate life. So in this alternate reality, are there not bad guys? I mean, is it, and he just kind of and if there are, he's just kind of dancing with his wife in the kitchen and not saving the world. I don't know. I thought that was kind of dumb.
I don't know. Have you seen Agent Carter? I'd be like, bad guys.
Yeah.
So, and then you can tell I live in a football house when Black Panther picked up the Infinity Glove and he starts running, and my wife was like, "You better tuck that ball, mother." I mean, he was running with it all out. She was like, "Why aren't you tucking the ball?" And then he fumbles it, and so she starts yelling at him. So I thought that was
brilliant,
pretty funny. So that's pretty much all I watched this weekend. Like I said, football's back on, and soccer's on, so it's going to be hit or miss on TV shows for me. I'm sorry, Justin, what's up, buddy?
I was just going to chime in with something. I did watch something the other day with my son, and for people that have kids, I got from the Redbox Detective Pikachu. Adorable. Such a good movie. Such a good movie.
Right.
I was like, and that was another thing. I'd put it on for him, and then I was over here at my computer, and then I just found myself on the couch watching Detective Pikachu, and I really enjoyed it. And to see all the Pokemon done super cool CGI, like Charizard, and it was pretty good. So if you have kids and they like anything Pokemon, check that out.
Very cool.
Sorry,
very
carry
cool.
on. Sorry to
No. So I also finished a little show. I don't know if y'all have heard of it, called The Boys on Amazon Prime.
Can we talk about this now?
Jesus,
can we? Again, I think I said I have two small children and a full-time job. So anyway, so let's run through this. My first hearing about this, I think, was from you, Justin, in the movie section in the Discord. I think that a couple weeks, you finished it pretty quick, right?
We watched it in 2 days. I told we watched one episode. I was, kids, get the fuck to bed. we watched one episode during the day, and then we made everybody go to bed really early, and then we watched 3, and then the next day I was like, Lisa is like, these kids, they need to get out of here, because there's no way I can't finish watching this show tonight. I thought it was that good.
My wife and I go to bed fairly early, and we stayed up till 1 o'clock, knocking out we had like 3 left, and we kicked it off at
Somebody
like
clip that.
9:30.
Oh yeah,
And,
don't worry.
Yeah.
It's all captured for permanence.
And anyway, so we stayed up till 1 o'clock.
Knocking it out.
Yeah, pounding them out. So.
Oh man, you're just digging a hole, man.
Yeah,
I remember watching. I saw the trailer for this a while ago. I mean, it had to have been like last year. Like it was a long time ago. I felt like, and then my wife, I don't know. I got home from work. She was like, "I saw this thing. It's called The Boys. Like, we need to watch this." She's like, "Check this trailer out," and I completely forgot about it. And she was telling me, she's like, "Oh, it's crazy. This." There's this guy like the Flash, and he runs through this girl and gets blood on. It's like, what? And then I watched it. I was like, this is the fucking show I was telling you about. We have to watch this shit. And it was just like, I don't know. It was just so good. Like, you can imagine that if there were superheroes for real, that
this is what they'd be.
This is how they would be.
It's like
I mean, obviously, the world we live in today is run by huge corporations
Hollywood.
who do nothing but just want to make money. And this is exactly what would happen. It would all be about social media. Of course, they can't fight real crime. All the crime they fight has to be staged because of collateral damage. You don't want anybody to get hurt and all of that stuff. And the debauchery that was going on, like the guy's like, he's having sex with somebody and then he stretches out and he's like jerking off 2 guys on a couch. And then, then you have like the little miniature guy who runs and leaps into somebody's vagina.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And that's all in the first episode.
But that's all in the first episode. Yeah. So what I had, when I finished this, I was just like ravenous for anything to do with The Boys. And I was really excited to find out that they've already started filming season 2. Like season 2 was a go before the show even aired. And supposedly we're going to have a trailer by December for the next season. So the guy who wrote it, he was writing comics for another thing and then switched over to this other company, and they basically allowed them to do whatever they want. Right. And so he was a huge Simon Pegg fan. So Huey in the comics looks like Simon Pegg.
Yep.
Which is crazy because then, Simon Pegg now plays Huey's dad, Huey being the son of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid, who that guy is really good. And I think his first movie was The Hunger Games. He only had like 1 line in it or something like that. But I remember going to the movie theater and I said to my wife, I was like, that looks like fucking Dennis Quaid. And like we see in the credits, like, that's his fucking son. That kid's an asshole. But he was great. He was like really good in that. Like he was so believable as this guy who is just wants to keep to himself and doesn't want to make waves and won't ask for a raise. And like his arc through the whole show of just all of a sudden just becoming like a badass in his own right. I don't know. It was great. Like when he kills the invisible guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I was
my
thinking
God.
about that. Like,
oh, it was so good. But even going back to him, like with his girlfriend on the street, and then, the Flash guy, I forget his name, but the whole movie starts off with him, or this whole show starts off with him and his girlfriend, and they're talking about how much they love each other or moving in or whatever. And then this guy just fucking runs through his girlfriend and she completely obliterates.
How about that
he's
special effects? Holy shit. You can see
jawbones. My God. He's left holding her arms.
That's
crazy. Or holding her hands. Like oh my God.
Punch in the gut right off the bat.
Yeah. Oh, it is exactly a punch in the gut. Like everybody in it is so fucking good. Like
in the deep, his story arc, he's just pathetic. Like he's talking to that dolphin when he was trying to save that dolphin.
God,
he's like, I know, and then all of a sudden he has to hit the brakes.
I know, it was so random.
It
was so random.
And the lobster.
Oh,
lobster too.
Yeah. He's trying to save the lobster. Yeah, it's excellent, man. So what do y'all think about the ending? Let's we can spoil here. Were you shocked? Was anybody here expecting that to happen? Like, any thoughts about that final scene?
the girl. I'm trying to remember her.
Kelly McGinnis.
Yeah.
From Top Gun.
She kind of got
Elizabeth Shue.
Oh, Elizabeth Shue. Sorry.
No, not her.
Did I get them confused?
No, the ending where he burns her eyes out. Oh yeah, that was
right.
That was
right.
classic.
Yeah.
I knew she was going to be gone. I knew the zoo was going to take over. I knew that was going to happen. It's the only way it could have gone. But the fact that the guy's girlfriend at the end, she kind of was out of the picture for a while, and I'm like, why is she so quiet on all this? And then at the end, when you find out that it was the superhero's son, that she was going back to stay with him.
Yeah.
So they twisted that story so many different ways before we found the reality there. That was great, I thought.
Yeah, I think like it was towards the end. You're trying to predict what happened here, and I was like, she's still alive. She's still alive. Like, there's no way that kid is around. And I think like it's a really fucked up part, but it's also I like the episode a lot is when Homelander and Queen Maeve go to rescue that plane.
Oh, yeah.
And then completely fuck it up. Like that was so fucked up. And then, it's just, I don't know. I love Elizabeth Shue, and I love the fact, like, this is just a little thing that I have. Like, I'm so annoyed when I really get annoyed at, women actors that are like in their 50s or whatever, or 50s, and they get unnecessary plastic surgery, like Nicole Kidman or Courtney Cox, or
40s or 50s. I think these actresses are like doing it at like 20, 25, 26 now.
But Elizabeth Shue has not had any work done. She looks amazing. Does she look like an older woman? Yes, but she's still beautiful.
Sexy as hell.
And I was like, oh, like, thank God there's like somebody who's like keeping it real. You know what I mean? Then you see somebody like Dolly Parton is like, it's like she could barely move her face to fucking sing.
I mean, come on.
But when the deep that girl is like sticking her hands in his fucking gills and shit.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, he's got fucking gills. He's hiding. He never takes that fucking thing off. Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
It surprised me. I didn't know he had gills.
Well, he is a fish.
Yeah, I thought he just breathed through his lungs. Specialized lungs or something through his nose. I don't know.
Specialized lungs.
I don't know, like some kind of lungs that can handle water. I don't know. I was like, how the hell is he? Oh, whatever. I mean,
no.
Fucking Gatr.
Yeah, get it right, man. Ugh.
That's it.
Put it in.
I fucking quit. I'm out of here.
Edit DC.
No, but
I thought that bit was over.
Oh, sorry.
So I was very pleasantly surprised, and so like it's not many times I watch a show and be like, man, that was like unbelievable. But I feel like that show really, really knocked it out of the park.
So I did an extra deep dive, and there were characters from the show that they mentioned, and I was curious about them. So I was watching like these videos to try and find out about them. And I think I inadvertently spoiled the next season for myself.
Oh, no.
And if it does follow what I think it's going to follow, it's going to be even better, even more amazing than this season. Like this season was just the jumping off point, because I was like, well, they showed this character, but like, what do they do? Like, who are they? And then went to look it up, and I was like, holy shit. I called my wife, I was like, do you want me to spoil the next season for you? Like, do you want to know about this? And, she's like me. She's like, yeah, tell me.
Oh, really? I thought my wife
and then I'm blowing her mind, telling her about, what I read. I mean, it's, it's out there. All the comics are there. So.
Well, for me, one thing that I had an issue with is that I really didn't want to like Homelander, because I kept going back and forth. Like, is he a villain? Is he not a villain? And then, like, it was like when just about the time you think that he does something halfway decent.
But he only did it for Elizabeth Shue. That's the only reason he did good stuff. That's the only way she could control him.
And then to find out that he was like brought up in a lab, like that whole shit with,
that was crazy.
With the drug that they were taking, that it turned out like they're not gods, that they're created in, they were created in a lab.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's nuts.
They're experiments.
Yep.
You guys want me to spoil season 2 for you when we get off?
Nope.
Please don't.
Nope. Keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah,
It's good. I'm just telling you.
I read the comics, so yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about.
I know, yeah, exactly. I can't wait myself.
Yeah, I got Comixology, so I could download the comics and read them on my iPad.
Yep. Yeah, I use Hoopla. It's free.
Hoopla.
Oh, I'll check that out. See what all the hoopla is about.
Let's talk about what we've been gaming in this week. So let's transfer over to this. Justin, I know you're looking up Hoopla, but what have you been gaming this week besides disc golf?
Shit, I haven't played that in weeks. Actually, I've been too busy. Yeah, it kind of sucks. So I've been grinding out Crucible, and this will touch on something that you were talking this week about. You were talking about like account recovery stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I think it was last year, and I talked about this on the show. I wanted to play on PlayStation, but I didn't have the time. I didn't want to play the story all over again. I didn't want to do fucking Forsaken. So I went on. I paid somebody I found on fucking eBay $20 to take over my PS4 account, and they got me to 30. That way I could play with everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I kind of took it from there. But I was on Potato Thumbs. I was talking about how I want Recluse, and I'd helped my buddy Chuck liked pizza out with something, so he helped me out to get Recluse. Which I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, like, I don't have time to do all that, and I'm not that great at comp, and could I have taken the time and done it? Yes, because actually I'm doing it right now because I was like, you know what? I want to go for Revoker. So I'm at the point, like, I only need 449 more points before I get my Revoker. So nice. I spent last week trying to get all my sniper kills and get all the other stuff done. And so I've just been grinding comp, and I've found that it's better solo. So part of it has been me offline doing it, because if people start joining, then it kind of fucks up the matchmaking a little bit. But actually last night, Baroque and Stu and Gear Dad and I, we played comp for a while, and we did pretty good. I don't know how many matches we played, but we definitely won more than we lost. And there were some really good games where, we were playing, like elimination, we were playing Clash with this one team, and it was like, it ended up, we won. It was like 89 versus like 88 or some shit like that. Like, there was really close games. I can't remember any that were like just blown out of the water, the ones that we lost, but it was fun. It was, it was good. And I haven't played much comp before this season, and I really enjoy it. And I look forward to getting on there and playing some more of it. But like I said, I have 449 more points to go. I'm very close. Well, not very close. I'm just wrapping up my elemental kills for Redrix. So I'm hoping to kind of get that wrapped up before Shadowkeep 2. I don't know how many resets I've had. That's really the only thing I would worry about. But I've definitely had a few resets this season for that, because I've played a lot of Crucible. But that's mainly it. Just grinding out Crucible and trying to get that stuff done,
So for me, I did a couple things. I attempted Crown of Sorrow again with Sen and Kingsley, and that became a shit show very, very quickly. Just an FYI to anyone listening, phase 2 is for real. Yeah, it's either a shit show or it's flawless. There is no in between.
Yeah, I gotta hop over to PlayStation and get some raids in over there with you guys. I haven't done the last two. Well, I haven't completed the one before Crown of Sorrow. I don't even know what the fucking name of it is. That's crazy.
Scourge of the Past.
Yeah, haven't completed it. Got to the end, didn't complete a guy.
Makes two of us.
And then
there you go.
It's actually a robot you complete there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sen and Kingsley, though, they're all the time raiding over the weekend and that. So, yeah, by all means, man, jump in. I'm sure they'd be happy to help you. They did that with me a couple weeks ago with the Scourge of the Past. We did it in like 45 minutes, and I'd never done it before.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm down.
There you go. And then I ventured into Horizon Zero Dawn because I didn't really have anything else to do in Destiny that I wanted to do. So I ventured into that a little bit, played that for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm just like, nah, I'm not really feeling it.
That's Destiny-itis, man.
Well,
you play everything else, and everything else sucks.
Yeah, I'm glad you gave it a
it
good shot. there, Hazel. Good job.
Hey, A for effort,
Yeah.
dude. A for effort.
I try. Then last night, I think it was last night, Tuesday night, I played God of War for roughly about maybe like 10 or 15 minutes again. Just trying to see if it's, all it's cracked up to be. And actually, it was fantastic.
You know what? I'm going to put a pin in this. I'm going to go back and play Destiny.
That's pretty much what I did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did. Because then I joined up with Easy, and we were going to do Escalation Protocol on Tuesday night. So we were playing, and we're like, you know what? We need to get a third in here. So we saw Drafty on. Well, he was like level 300, and then we noticed that he's in a forge, and I'm just like, fuck.
Of course he
So we said, piss on Drafty then. Well, then you remember that, right? See, I'm
No,
not
I
making
don't.
that up.
I remember you
What?
talking shit, but I don't remember what you said.
Oh, okay. Well, that fits. So then Kingsley got on Discord, and he's like, hey, see you on, do you need one more? And I'm just like, yeah, hop on in. Kingsley joined up. I got the sniper rifle. Easy. Do you want to say what you got?
I got the shotgun, man.
Yes.
I'm very, very happy. I was so we were having a really good time. It was actually great because at this level, you can just not melt the bosses, but there were so many orbs on the ground. I think I chained 10 supers in a row, 10 blade barrages against the boss. Every time I hit the ground, every time I hit the ground, I had enough orbs to jump right back up. And so I still think that the drop rate is ridiculously low. We completed it like 12 or 13 times, and out of the two of us, we got one drop apiece, and that's like what, 0.5%. I feel like they may need to raise that drop rate a little bit.
Well, then Kingsley and we were going to do a Nightfall. Then Kingsley's wife, Startian, she was going to join up. Then she had to go find a $30,000 cello or something like that. So that was more important than Destiny, obviously. So then Dadbod Link, he showed up. And he's like, hey, are you guys doing a Nightfall? We said, yeah, sure. So we knocked out Strange Terrain. And then at the end, this is a, classic Hazelnut move here. He's like, yeah, I already feel like I know you, Hazel. I was like, well, that's cool. I've never played with you before. How do you know me? And he's like, well, I listened to the podcast. And I was like, oh, well, shit. Okay. I didn't know anybody listened really. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was like, wow, we have one listener. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll make you famous.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my adventures in gaming this past week.
Man, it was a great week for me, guys. Stellar week. When you work on a bunch of achievements all at once, kind of edge everything up a little bit. Well, the first thing I did is I went to EP. First, I figured let's go ahead and start helping out with the community challenge, right? I go into EP and I was just soloing it, It was earlier in the day when I got home from work. No one was really on yet, so I went in there and the freaking orbs, it's like snow out there, man. It's so many orbs. So I would just on the final boss, I would just keep collecting my Voidwalker super, the top tree. Anyway, I would just keep throwing that. I would keep collecting orbs and just chucking them, like collecting them, chucking them, we had the boss down in like 30 seconds maybe. It was so fast. But now one thing I wanted to mention is I needed the submachine gun and the sniper rifle, and that was it. I was on a Wayfarer. So the first time I played it, we played level 6, level 7, rinse, repeat, probably for an hour, and I was like, all right, same old bullshit. The drop rates suck. This is the reason why I don't have Wayfarer, because this stupid escalation protocol. Well, I didn't realize it, but there were 2 legendary Ingrams out there next to the boss wit, and so I ran out there, and sure as shit, there's the submachine gun. Got it. So like, okay, well, now I only need 1 weapon, so let's go to it. And these guys stuck around, and there'd be rotating guys come in, 2 or 3 guys that would come in and say, all right, let's keep going. So we keep going on it, and I think it was maybe 30, 45 minutes later, another Ingram. I went to it, and it was a sniper rifle. Boom, Wayfarer. It's so hard to get the drop. EP is the bane of my existence. The drop rates are so pathetic that I just gave up on it like in year one. I just gave up on it. I was like, this is going to have to wait. I can't do this forever. Okay, so Wayfarer's done. That was my big deal. But then me and Warcry were playing Iron Banner, I think, the night after that. And we were playing Iron Banner and everyone else took off. We were playing with Flip and a couple other guys. And I said, hey, man, I know it's getting late, but you want to play a little comp? I need to get my 3 games in so I can get my extra glory for the week. I haven't done it yet. He goes, yeah, man, sure. Warcry's the best, man. He'll stick around as long as you want. So we went in there. Dude, we went on a 7-game win streak.
Holy shit.
I started out with 1,500 glory, and I ended up like at 2,000. I said, you know what? I only need 2,100 for Fabled, and then I'll have Recluse. I was trying to get all the points also like you are, Justin, to get the Revoker sniper rifle. I'm 50 points away from getting.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm gonna play some comp this week and I'll get it knocked out.
Hey, let's end the show right now. Let's go play some
comp. And the last thing I got, the third and final thing I did, I've been working on the Sunshot Catalyst. You have to, getting the kills is easy. It's getting the double explosion kills with that hand cannon. And then when I saw that they were going to buff it and put 12 rounds in the clip for next season, I was like, I got to get this done. And I'm not even a hand cannon user, but this thing, the explosions off this gun are so awesome. So I just started grinding it out, and sure enough, and it worked out because I was doing escalation protocol as well with a lot of stuff. They're a little harder to kill because they're all yellow bars, but I ended up getting that done. I was like, this has just been an awesome week. So yeah, that was me. That's me in a week.
So I signed, sealed, and delivered AC Unity. I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that, so you don't have to hear about it anymore. Excellent game. And then actually, I did the first mission and some of the training of that new Astral Chain on the Switch.
Oh yeah.
And dude, that game it's badass. I know none of y'all will play it, but it's a really, really badass game. If you have a chance to at least YouTube, watch like 10, 15 minutes of it, it's incredible. And then games released this week, really, there's only a couple that I want to go through. Like I said, that Greedfall game that I was telling you all about, the colonists that go to that island, and it's got like beasts and magic and stuff like that. It comes out next week. And then Overwatch and AC Black Flag come out on the Switch here in the next month. And then I want to bring this game up just because I think that the cross save here is pretty sweet. So Divinity Original Sin, which is kind of like a Diablo type top down your gauntlet type game, came out on Switch, and they're actually doing a cross save with Steam. Now, I think this kind of cross save is really badass because you can have your PC where you can play all the time, but if you just want to pick up and go on the run, you can take it with you. And I think that that's really, really awesome. Like, it's great to have Steam and Xbox and whatnot, but if you can have a game like Destiny, think about playing Destiny like we do now, and then hell, I gotta like Justin, you travel for work, I travel for work. Just take it with you. Like, it'd be nice if there was an offline option to where, like, if you just wanted to load into one of the planets and just run around, and they had kind of like like there wouldn't be public events or anything like that, but there would still be like lost sectors, and you could still grind for materials and stuff like that.
I mean, that's the only reason why I'm like even tempted to get a Stadia is
for that,
because I could take it with me. You know what I mean? Like anywhere, play it on my phone or iPad or wherever, like in a hotel room, because, I will take my Xbox with me, and I have the S, so it's smaller, it's easy to travel with. But that would be amazing if I could do that. And actually, I've been like looking at like the Steam box as well. Like, oh, what if I could put that upstairs? Because, well, the other night, I guess it was last week, and we talked about this on our show this past week, but Stu was like, oh, let's fire up Destiny on the PC, see how that is. And I mean, that immediately, it was just like, it's so buttery smooth. It looks so good. And that's what prompted me to get this like new monitor. I was like, oh man, like it's going to be so good, because even if I'm not playing PvP over there, like doing a raid or just being out in the world and playing like that, oh my gosh, it looks so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. So Jay did that, a couple months ago?
Yeah.
And he said that it's hard to play on Xbox now. After when you go back from PC, it's like a complete different experience altogether.
Yeah. Could I add? Let me add one thing. When is this coming out? Do you know?
When is what coming out?
This episode.
This will Gatr. Yeah. Yeah. Depends
Okay.
on Gatr.
I don't want to tell people what's going on. No, but I was going to say, well, at least I'll tell you guys. Go to Eververse and buy that the Kit Bash shell, which is like the exotic shell that's put together by a bunch of different shells. Buy that shell because it's 10% XP gains across everything. It's also 10% XP in the Crucible, and having that for next season, those XP gains, the 10% is going to help you with the rank ups for the season. That season pass for the season rank up. So you'll get, 10% isn't much, but 10% is 10% more you'd be getting if you didn't have it on. So if you haven't deleted everything in your vault yet, look to see if you have. And I deleted fucking everything. And then I thought about I was like, shit, I need a 10%. Like, I need, something for that. So luckily I bought it. And it has all that stuff on there. So if you have anything in your vault that's any ghost that gives you 10% XP gains, use that for for Shadowkeep, and it's going to help out when you're trying to level all those rank ups.
Very nice.
It's a little public service announcement.
Cool. So Gatr, that's pretty much it for me, man.
All right. Well, sounds good, guys. It sounds like we've had a really good week. So let's move on to our next segment, This Week at Bungie. All right. Hey, welcome back, guys. Hazel and I were both going to go over the This Week at Bungie this week, and Hazel unfortunately was unavoidably detained and couldn't make it tonight. So I said, you know what? The part I really wanted to talk about was the part about Crucible, and who better to discuss this with than my old comp buddy, Warcry. Warcry, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm pretty good.
All right. Well, good deal. I just want to go over just some broad strokes, things that apply to this week. Some other changes we can talk about next week once Hazel gets back. But I wanted to go over the part about Crucible. One thing that was coming up on Tuesday, September 10th from 3 to 5 Pacific, Bungie is having another Bungie bounty. And this time it's not a PvP Bungie bounty. It's based on strikes. Two very important people are going to be playing on Xbox. It's going to be on Mixer only. Mixer.com/Bungie, and it's going to be on Xbox Live for those 2 hours that I mentioned. And the two people that are going to be in the fire team are the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, and the CEO of Bungie, Pete Parsons. They're both going to be playing in a fire team, and then the third person who happens to matchmake in with them, if they feel that you were worthy in the strike, you'll get this awesome banner, and it looks really good, multicolored, very beautiful. Check it out if you haven't looked at This Week at Bungie yet. It's very nice, and for a few lucky people, it's going to be really nice to get that. But the part I did want to talk about, though, was the part about the Crucible. And in the director's update, here was a quick rundown of what they said. They said that they've removed the quick play and competitive nodes from the director, and they're showing a future page of what the Crucible is going to look like when you go to that page. And if you're looking for experience like quick play, that classic mix, which is a connection-based list like quick play today, is going to be where you want to go. It's going to include control, clash, and supremacy only. The competitive is being replaced by a 3v3 survival, which now awards glory. They've also added, more importantly, a survival solo queue playlist that also awards glory, which I'm really looking forward to because I'm usually on weird hours where I have to solo queue and I have no choice. But they've added also a 6v6 control-only playlist, which I love because I love to play control. And next week, I'm actually going to have a more than just Space Magic segment about that game type, about control. So stay tuned for that next week, and we'll be talking more about that game mode and kind of take a deep dive on how different strategies can be used to win that game. Okay, and also to finish it out, they have added a weekly 6v6 rotator and a weekly 4v4 rotator. These are modes like Clash, Supremacy, Mayhem, Lockdown, and Countdown. And I'm not looking forward to that Countdown at all. What do you think, Warcry? You want to do some more Countdown?
Oh, I hate Countdown.
I know, man. Every time we get Countdown, I just take a deep breath and say it's just a game. It's just a game, you know. I'm looking more in here, and they said that we want to create some variety in PvP from season to season, and one way we're doing this is to bench some maps from the season. And while they're out of rotation, if time allows, they hope to improve how they play by tweaking spawn areas, the ammo spawns, overall structure of how they can return it better than before. And the 4 maps they're taking out, I'm a little upset about. The first one is Dead Cliffs. I love that map, man. I understand why they're taking it out, because, you know, if you hold B down, you pretty much have held the heavy down, don't you think, Warcry, on that map? You remember what map that is? Yeah.
You do. If you control B, you got the game.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much, that's what the whole game's about. So I think that, you know, they saw this, and especially in comp games, and realized that this was just an unbalanced map, and they just need to bring it back to the drawing board and figure out, maybe put B in a different location, or maybe put the heavy ammo spawn somewhere more neutral. I'm thinking they should put it right in the middle of the map, you know, right where all the crossfire lanes are. That makes sense to me, but I don't know. The second map they're taking out is Legion's Gulch, and this is the one where they have the little man cannons, you know, that shoot you across the gulch area. Remember that one, Warcry?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Them taking that map out?
Oh no, I kind of like it myself. I mean, there's very few maps that I really dislike.
Yeah. I like how you can run from people who are chasing you, like with a shotgun, and get in that man cannon and launch. And you can hear them launch behind you that they're in chase. And what I would usually do is I would blink into the B flag, turn around, and have my Telesto ready to blast them as soon as they come off. Because, you know, you have no control when you're on that man cannon on your landing. You have no way of controlling how far you jump or being able to really do much. You have to go through the animation when you're landing. So I guess, you know, my strategy on that map is always just hold A and C. If we're talking about control here, hold A and C, or hold those areas if it's Clash or something like that, and just let them have B. Then they have to keep launching over to try to get to A and C, and it's just so easy to pick them off. So I can see why they were wanting to get rid of that map. The third map was Retribution, which I call the donut. It's that real close quarters map, and all it is just one circular. I mean, it has a little offshoots into some rooms, but it pretty much is just one big circular room, and it's all about, you know, finding your lanes and firing and stuff. What do you think about them taking that one, Warcry?
That one they can take away, because I really don't like that map.
It's good for...
Can't get set up to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for shotgunners and people like to bait, like jump over the doorways, trying to bait for people to run through. A lot of camping, a lot of squatting around corners with shotguns. And, you know, fusion rifles have a good time in there, too. I mean, Telesto's awesome because you can stick it all over the walls. And as these power-hungry shotgun titans try to run at you, they run into those blasts from the Telesto bolts on the wall, and usually they only get through the doorway. And if they do survive and they have, you know, a high armor build, I can usually just 1 or 2 shot them and pick them off. So, and the last map they're taking off is Solitude, which I kind of like that map too. That's the one on Mars. I think is it Mars? Is that a Mars map?
I think it is.
I think it's the one that has B in the middle, and then one of the flags, I think it's the A flag, is outside, like in the open area, and the A flag, I believe, I may be flipping this, but the A or C flag is outside, and then the other flag is kind of under the roof area. And there's a stairway in the middle, if you remember, stairway in the middle, where a lot of people like to get up on that area and try to shoot down on people and try to control the spawns at A or C, whatever it may be there, the one under the roof. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a map they should get rid of, or do you think it played well?
I thought it played pretty good myself. I mean, because, yeah, you had a couple lanes, but you could still work around them.
Yeah, I thought there were some good flanking areas on that map. I don't think that map was broken, to be honest. I mean, what I usually do is once you get the outside flag and the middle flag. You can sit outside there and you can control the lanes pretty well, but I didn't think it was broken. I thought it was, you were able to have a decent game there, and there were some spawn flips, so people did get through, but I guess in their eyes, they didn't see it that way. I guess they looked at the heat maps and realized that it wasn't right. So they also made a pass on all playlists, removing some maps from the playlist where they don't shine. Equinox, for instance, is only going to be in the Scorched mode, Mayhem mode, and Breakthrough. And Firebase Echo, which I hate that map, is only going to be Supremacy, Mayhem, and Breakthrough. So, Equinox, that's not the big giant map, but it's kind of that was like the first Trials map. You remember that one, Warcry? Yeah. God, I remember going around a corner and just getting loaded with Mida multi-tools back when the first Trials came out in Destiny 2. And a lot of lanes.
Mida was king.
Mida was king, man. I mean, all you had to do is just sit back and just aim down a lane, wait for someone to run through it. And usually between 3 people with Midas, I mean, you pretty much just vaporized around the corner. You didn't have a chance to even pull your sights up. It's crazy. Firebase Echo, you can have that map. I hate that map. It's too crazy. It's too convoluted. I don't know. I think this is the one that has like the runway at the top with the yellow shield, so the people up top, don't get fired, can't get fired at, but they can see what's going on below them. You remember that part?
I'm trying to remember.
Remember
Firebase Echo as much.
Remember we go outside on that rock and shoot them up on that lift area up there. Remember, it's like a little lift that could take you up to the middle.
Oh.
Remember that now? How we would always hold down that rock right there? We just cap people as they try to come up. So yeah, those maps are going to be more specialized now. Thank goodness, because I don't want to play Control on that map, Firebase Echo. It says, while we are removing a few maps, we're also introducing Widow's Court, Twilight Gap, and a new map called Fragment. They said, think of Dreaming City meets Infinite Forest. I'm looking at it here. It looks like it's going to be a vertical map. I guess any new map's a good addition. At least try it out until, I don't know, till we see what to do with that. But I don't know if you remember Widow's Court and Twilight Gap from Destiny 1. Do you remember those?
I definitely remember Widow's Court.
Yeah, I remember.
That was a good sniping map.
Yeah, not only that, and they had some really good sightlines too, if I remember. I'm sure they've tweaked it to not make it as easy for us Destiny 1 players to remember where all the gaps were on it. No pun intended. But Widow's Court, I liked using that. In Destiny 1, there was an Iron Banner scout rifle I loved. I can't remember the name of it, but you could 3-tap people with that thing, and it had super range. Especially if you got the long scope on it, you could almost use it like a sniper rifle. I think if you could get 2.5, 3 headshots on a person on Widow's Court, you could pop them. So I have a feeling this is going to tie into them buffing scout rifles. I know Luke Smith mentioned he's going to buff scout rifles into the next season. So I'm guarantee you that scout rifles are going to be king on this map, not just snipers. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, I would think that'd probably happen too.
And Twilight Gap, I don't know if you remember that one, but that's the one that had like the 2 platforms. It's like a big warehouse, and there were 2 platforms, one on each side of the flag. And then the B flag, you'd have to jump over like a chasm area, or they had one little skinny runway going out to it, but it was all by itself, like offshoot, like off the cliff area. I first found you again on that map, if you remember, back in Destiny 1. I saw Warcry 1968 on the other side. That's the exact map where I actually saw you again. I think we all kind of broke apart once, AGA, the Adult Gaming Alliance, kind of went kaput, and we all kind of went our own separate ways and, kind of played by ourselves again. And I remember Twilight Gap, I was on the opposite team. I think I was on the opposite team, and I kept seeing on the kill feed at the bottom, Warcry 1969, and I was like, holy crap, I wonder if that's the same Warcry I know. That was so weird. I think I messaged you and I said, is this Warcry from AGA? And you're like, is this Todd? That was pretty cool, man. Good memories on that map. I don't know if you remember, but I distinctly remember. It was a good map. I love that map. I know when I was I'm still a warlock, but when I was a warlock back then, they had that Angel of Light where you could hover in the air and snipe, do like what True Vanguard called sky sniping, and you could kind of set up in place and aim at people, and if you timed it just right, you could get a headshot on someone running up from the other side. They never even know what was coming, because as soon as you fired your weapon, you'd drop like a rock. Not to die, but you would drop down where they couldn't hit you. I got so many sniper kills on that map just doing that, and now you have to get a piece of armor to do that. I thought that's pretty cool. They talked about the heavy ammo sharing, and they said it was only going to be in the 6v6 modes, so I guess it's not going to be in comp, because comp is now 3v3, so the ammo sharing is not going to be in comp. if I'm reading that correctly, yeah. And it says it's going to turn a different color to denote that the other side took it already. So say someone takes the heavy blocks and their blocks fall to the ground for their teammates to get. If you tried to go and pick them up, they're all going to be shown in a different color. I think they said red, like a red color. And they said this is something, I think they said once your one teammate initially picks up the heavy, they have about 7 seconds to grab it for themselves. So you think that's enough time? Let's see, 7 seconds. I'm trying to think. You'd have to be pretty much close to heavy.
Yeah.
And pick it up. So I don't know. 6v6, I guess that's fine. When it comes to comp, I guess it's a whole different animal,
It is.
Okay, let's keep moving on here. It said that each player gets less heavy ammo from shared crates, and they do than they do from unshared crates in 4v4 and 3vp modes. So okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is ammo sharing in comp modes, but the ammo you receive from the crate is static. It does not change based on how many teammates share the crate. So everyone's going to get their little piece of ammo. So yeah, I'm correcting myself here. There is sharing in all the game modes, it looks like. It just says you're going to get less. Let's see. Each player gets less heavy ammo from shared crates than they do from unshared. Okay. There is no sharing of heavy ammo in comp in 4v4 modes. So what they're saying is you're getting less ammo on the shared modes, the 6v6 modes. You're going to get less shared ammo, and it's going to be static. But on the comp modes and the 4v4 modes, you'll get, just like it always has been, the first person who grabs the heavy gets it, and they'll get their static amount that they've always gotten from this season. So, all right, let's move on. This is what I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if you've read this yet, but it talks about the rank systems update, and it talks about streaks and floors. Just reading verbatim here from the post. Glory, Valor, and Infamy streaks have been made more resilient. Instead of resetting your streak, losses now reduce your Valor and Infamy streaks by 1, and your Glory streak by 2. You can still lose Glory, but if your rank is at or below Fabled, you can't lose Glory. If doing so would drop you below that rank. So each rank through Fabled acts as a floor for Glory. So let's say we're playing comp, we're starting out the season, and we hit heroic, right? We break through and we finally hit into the heroic rank of comp. What they're saying is you cannot dip down below heroic. Once you punch through heroic, you've reached that milestone. No matter how many times you lose, there's a floor now. You cannot lose Glory into what is below heroic, which I guess would be what? You remember? I can never remember those damn, how they do those things. They sound so alike. That's the problem. Do you remember what it is, Warcry?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
We're so damn old. We're so damn old. Shit. Well, just know that Fabled is 2100, okay? Is what they're saying is once you get to Fabled rank, you can't drop below Fabled rank. So that's awesome, man. I mean, that's always been my fear. I mean, we both reached Fabled rank now, and you've dipped down below into, I believe, Heroic now because you've had a bad patch of losses. And then, of course, the other night we go into like a 7-win streak, and that probably puts you really close to Fabled again, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about that, man? I mean, that's pretty mind-blowing. The fact that, it kind of protects players from getting pounced on by 4 stacks, If anything, it encourages the player to just keep playing comp. And eventually you'll reach that Fabled mark, which I'm guessing is probably going to be the next, the rank that you're going to need to get the next pinnacle weapon, which they haven't told us what those are yet. What do you think about all this?
I mean, I love that. That's something I wish they had done all along, because I think that's what turns so many people off of comp. I mean, you play Glory, you play it, you're getting Glory, you're getting up there, you're getting close to Fabled, and then next thing you know, you run into a patch of bad games and you're back down almost where you started it again.
It can be, I know they reduced the loss streaks on this season, but it's still devastating when you have a bad run of it. You're doing good, you're starting to feel good, you're getting in some good groups. I mean, whether it's just me and you with 2 other randoms, or whether we're doing it, by ourselves solo, it's so debilitating when it's almost like you have to write your number down at the beginning of the night when you start to play, and then you just have to make sure that you're above it. Doesn't that seem like a lot of work? Holy crap, man. That seems like a lot of work. Like, okay, I'm at 1380 tonight, and I've played 6 games, gotten my butt kicked, and now I'm at 1350. So, okay, what you're telling me, Bungie, is I just played comp and not having fun, by the way, because I'm getting my ass kicked, and now I'm worse off than when I started the night. I mean, that's got to be pretty debilitating, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, so
It's just crazy. And I mean, some of the triumphs, I mean, like if you're going for the unbroken, you got to reach legendary, which is after Fable, but with the way it works now, you can barely reach Fable.
Yeah, I think it's Fabled, Mythic, and then Legendary, I think. Those are the next 2 levels to go. 5,500 is max rank. I don't know what you got to get to actually hit Legend. I don't know if you have to land on 5,500 or whether there's a floor on Legendary. I've never gotten to it, to be honest. I've never really tried. Never really tried to get to Legendary, or I think I've gotten Mythic one time. It was early in Destiny. Dude, I played a lot of comp to do that. It was very tough. I don't know. I figured I caught you tonight. I wanted to just see what your thoughts were on it and see if you concurred with what I was saying about it. But and it says I'm just reading here more of what they're stating. Okay, it says Destiny has always tracked player skill behind the scenes, taking into account things like kills, damage dealt, and so forth. These factors all contribute to a player's skill rating. In Season 8, we mapped skill ratings to glory ranks, with the lowest end of the scale mapping to Guardian 1, which is what I mentioned, and the high end mapping to Legend. Most players are somewhere between these extremes. It says as you play in the survival playlist, the glory system will accelerate you to the rank that corresponds to your skill rating. If your current rank is below where your skill rating says you should be, you'll earn extra glory based on the criteria above, so you can get to your expected rank faster and lose less glory, so you don't fall farther away.'t you reach your, quote, expected rank, glory gains and losses will normalize. So, meanwhile, your skill rating is continually adjusting based on your performance, shifting the system's understanding of your, quote, expected rank and causing the glory system to respond by pulling you toward that rank. The result should be that over time, your glory rank will become an accurate reflection of your skill. It also means that teammates of different skill will experience different glory adjustments from the same survival match. So you could be playing with people that are more skilled than you, and if they help you to win that game, you're going to get more glory than they will. It's all based on this. You know what it sounds like? ELO. You remember how they talk about ELO and how you would have an ELO rating? I don't know about you, but I tried to play Trials in Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, and everyone was always like, what is your ELO? What's your ELO score? And if you had like an ELO above 2,000, you were considered a pretty decent player. And I think what Destiny's talking about is they have basically calculated an ELO score for you. And I know ELO is calculated by wins and losses against teams that are better or not as good as you, and they adjust your ELO according to how good of players you're playing against and how successful you are to beat them. So I'm trying to figure out how they are going to, I guess the $1 million question is, what's going to determine your expected rank?
So it's saying based off your performance, so I think that'll be how well you do or have done against people everybody out there, people that probably should be your skill level or higher than your skill level.
Right. And the fact that they say that some people in your own fire team from the game you won or lost will experience adjustments in glory depending upon this ideal number that they think you should be at. And they're basing it on kills and damage numbers and stuff like that. That gives me hope, because I think my ELO is artificially low. If I go to Destiny Tracker and I look at my Gatr profile, there's a lot of games that I think my ELO is too low. But it may be because the people I played against. There's a lot of things that they don't account for with ELO. ELO is a flawed system, if you ask me. Okay, someone like me plays a lot of solo. And if I'm playing a lot of solo, then I'm going to go against a lot of teams, and those teams are going to communicate, right? So they're going to know where you're at. They're going to call you out when you kill them. You kill one of their teammates, they're going to call you out. They're going to come running and know how to collapse on you and take you down. You don't know what's going on. And if you're playing solo, you're not communicating with your team. I know it's a possibility you can try to, but you're at a distinct disadvantage when you solo queue into any competitive game versus going in with a team. And not only just the fact that you lack a little confidence and because you can't get a full communication of what's going on in a game, but on the flip side, the guys that are all four together are all having banter. They're pumping themselves up. I don't know about you, but when I play with a group of players, like with our clan, I feel a little more confident than if I was playing by myself just trying to crank some bounties out. What do you think? You agree with that?
I sure do, because at least then you know if they do get killed, they let you know where they're at, or they know where they're at and they're running away. I mean, they can tell you so you can try to prevent whatever they're doing.
Yeah, and it's like that third radar, it's like that extra radar. In fact, you have people, if they know half of what they're doing, they make call-outs. Whenever you die in Crucible, you should always be scanning your camera around, because you're in a third-person setting looking at your ghost. You should be able to immediately hit the down arrow on your controller or mouse or whatever you have it tied to on PC, and immediately go and see you have like a full camera view around the players that are still alive on your team. And if you were able to talk to them, you could say, listen, dude, there's someone heading to you right now through that doorway to your left, because you're looking in their perspective, right? So I don't know, that's a lot of advantage, being able to communicate and have that third radar. But no, that's basically what I wanted to talk about tonight. The next week, Hazel and I Hazel will go over a lot of the sandbox updates with the abilities, the buffs and nerfs that they're doing to the abilities. That's Hazel's job. I really didn't want to talk about that tonight, but I did want to discuss the Crucible portion of it. Warcry, I just appreciate you hopping on and just bouncing it off and seeing what you think, and if you concur with what I'm saying. Do you have anything else to add about competitive or anything you wanted to say?
Sony, a lot of these changes I really like. I mean, like this one that you were just talking about, the matchmaking updates. At least then, people that are really, really try hard, I mean, should be legendary players, they will go up faster than you. So you're not going to keep getting matched against them people. You're going to get matched against people on your skill level until you get to the higher rank.
Yeah, I mean, what's great about this is, if I'm going up against True Vanguard and he wins and I'm on the losing side, he's going to get an explosion of glory, and it's going to propel him easily where he should be in legendary. And, I'll still be... Maybe I'm not there yet at what I'm supposed to be, but at least I'll be adjusting slightly toward it, in a more distinct way. So, I don't know. I just, I think what they're doing is they've taken a lot of feedback from us solo players. I mean, they seem to be doing a lot of things to help the solo players out in comp coming up. Because I think they realize a lot of people don't have, even if they have a group of friends they run every night, competitive with, if they get home at certain times and not everybody's on yet, you want to be able to jump in and solo queue some stuff or get warmed up or do whatever. And the way this new setup is, it sounds like it's going to be friendly to solo and team players.
I think you'll have a lot more people playing comp now, because then they can play solo and you're not going against full teams every time.
I wanted a ranking system so badly in Destiny 1, and when they finally came out with it on Destiny 2, they base it strictly on ELO. And, ELO basically is based on wins and losses. That is such a one part of a player that there's so many other parts of a player that make them good. Their gun skill, their KD ratio, their KDA ratio, how good a team player they are, how long they stay alive in matches. I mean, these are all things that, I think that ELO can never track correctly. Yeah, I think, I can ramble on forever about this with all my opinions, but I just wanted to see what you thought about it. But it sounds like we're on the same page here, that, there's a lot of times you hop on and you play a lot of Crucible solo, and there's a lot of times I do. And I think the way they've got this set up now, it's really going to be cool to do. So I'm really looking forward to the next season. I'm kind of pissed some of the maps they took out, because I love Dead Cliffs, and I really like Solitude. The other two, I understand why they're taking them out, but I don't know. I'm really excited about how Crucible is going to be, and I think I'm going to play more Crucible this next season. You think you're going to play more?
Lord, yeah, I know I am.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, again, thanks for joining me, Warcry. I know this was on short notice, and I just wanted someone to talk to on this and make sure that I was sane here on some of my beliefs and not going off the deep end. So, thanks again, man. I appreciate you joining.
Oh yeah, always my pleasure.
Every battle has a consequence. Sometimes we lose.
Okay, this is a special segment called Guardian's Choice. I think someone might have done this before, but I think I'll give it a shot. What the hell?
It sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, since we have a guest that maybe created this segment, why not? All right, here's how it goes. I'm going to give you an A and a B choice. I'll explain what they are. I'll leave the floor open, and then you'll have to make your choice. There is a secret third option, so here we go. All right, your first choice is you have edible hair that grows candy. It regrows back every night, but your sweat smells like spoiled tuna fish. Okay, that's your first choice. And your second choice, you'll be able to talk to animals for 2 hours a day, but every time you kiss your wife, you have emergency diarrhea. The floor is open for questions.
I really only kiss my wife in the morning and at night before I go to bed. But I could talk to animals.
Yeah.
Man, I could tell my dog to shut the fuck up.
What the hell? For 2 hours, you can have a conversation with him every morning before you go to work.
You said I have. So in the first scenario, I have hair.
You have edible hair. It's made of candy, and it regrows back.
But you're sweat.
Well, I am trying to lose weight, so maybe the diarrhea thing would be good.
Do you get the diarrhea right away, or is it like?
Let's just say you're going to be heading to the bathroom as soon as you kiss your wife.
You know what? I'm gonna go Baroque on this one, and I'm gonna pick the third option.
I was hoping you'd do that. Okay, what's your choice, Easy? You have any? What questions do you have?
So, I think I'm going to go with the second option because the more diarrhea I have, the more screen time I get with my Switch. So,
Okay.
I'm down with that, and I can't smell like tuna fish. I'm in an elevator.
Hashtag wipe off the Switch. Oof.
And then I'm in an elevator a lot. I'm on the top floor of my building, so I can't be smelling like tuna fish. That
Humble brag.
Terrible. Yeah. So yeah, I go with two. Second option.
All right, Hazel.
I don't have any questions. I'll just keep going back and forth between having hair.
Edible hair made of candy.
Yeah, it's really tempting.
I don't give a shit about the edible hair. I just want
just hair. Yeah, me too. I'm on board with that.
I'm like, there's that, or I mean, I would love to be able to talk to my dog. I'd have to wake her up all the time, but maybe I could ask her why the hell you're sleeping so much. Yeah, I just think that tuna.
I'm soaked. Third option, your Yeti spills all over you.
No, it's not it.
How'd you know? Yeah, that tuna though, I just can't do that. So I'd have to go number 2.
I would have to go with A. I like the edible hair, man. I can deal with tuna fish smells, no big deal. I'll just deal with it somehow. I'll wear a diaper. I don't know how I'll do it. I'll figure it out. Anyway, if it's made out of Twizzlers, I'm good. Only Justin took the secret third option. All right, the secret third option is
had to do it.
Be able to eat as much food as you want and not gain an ounce of weight or feel full. But every time you eat, your internet goes down for 2 hours. So you could have a possibly 6 hours.
Oh boy, that's tough.
That's the part about having the secret choice.
Yeah, but yeah, I am
Trying to lose weight.
Trying to lose that weight. I didn't enter my fucking weight into the Google Doc.
I heard about that.
So I couldn't participate. That sucks.
Well,
I did so good.
The next one starts on Monday.
I know. You know what? Tonight I've been so good. I've lost 17 pounds.
Wow.
Ooh,
And
nice.
I've been so good. And then my son wanted pizza, and I was like, "Oh, it sounds so good." So we got pizza. I got pizza and wings, and I got done. I was like, I hate myself. But you know what? I've been good, and it was a treat, and I won't have one for a while. But still, when I got done, I was like, shit, I don't even want to see the scale tomorrow. I mean, it's probably not going to be that bad, but that stuff is so salty. I've just been drinking so much water. It's just, I'll have so much water weight to get rid of. It's ridiculous.
I had Chinese last night, and I felt literally tired. I was trying to walk my dogs last night, and I was just like a real tired came out, like all my muscles, everything was tired. And I think I was just dehydrated from all the freaking sodium in that food, man.
Yeah. Hopefully the wings will kick in and I'll have diarrhea and I'll just shit it all out.
Well, you know what? You can eat as much as you can. You just have to deal with the internet going out for 2 hours after.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well.
That's rough, especially when I'm trying to get those comp games in.
I was going to say, it's tough. It's tough. Well, hey, thanks for playing, guys.
Only 1 minute left.
So this segment is called the Speed Run, where we have a database of 66 randomly asked questions. We have 60 seconds to answer as many as you can. These are short 1 or 2 word answers, and we're going to keep track of how many questions were answered by our guest each week. And the questions are randomly asked, so no one can memorize the order, and we'll have to answer as quickly as whatever comes to mind. At the end of the year, the guest with the most questions answered will win a prize. So,
Okay.
I'm going to ask the questions from my list. Easy, you're going to be our timekeeper as usual, and Hazel, you are going to be our scorekeeper. You ready, Jesse?
Oh, man. Yeah, my heart is beating so fast. Yeah.
Man, I heard you're going after Nips and Fudd. We'll see how it works. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Blue, green, or brown eyes?
Green.
Have you ever been in a band?
You broke up.
Have you ever been in a band?
The Strokes.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Smooth or chunky peanut butter?
Creamy.
Would you give up all drinks except water or never eat anything cooked in an oven?
No.
What's your favorite holiday?
Am I only getting part of the question? Fuck. Go ahead.
What's your favorite holiday? What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
What's the latest you've been up gaming?
4 o'clock.
Have you ever clicked I agree on the terms and conditions without
Yes.
reading it? Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Rock, paper, or scissors?
Buzzards.
That's time. That's...
Oh, man.
You were breaking up half the fucking time.
Sorry,
Jesus
man,
Christ.
I'm sorry. Okay, so Hazel, you're going to be the overall judge of how many times I broke up.
Oh shit!
Damn Discord, man. So this is the world we live in. We have to deal with first world problems.
I'm fucking crying. I'm fucking crying.
All right, Hazel, what do you got? Before you add breakup, how many did he get raw without having to repeat the question?
10.
Okay, how many times did I break up? I had to repeat the question.
I have no fucking clue.
Like most, like half of the questions.
Yeah, most of them.
So this is a,
Like,
this
there
is a
was one
judgment
question
call. You got 10. I know.
Yeah, I didn't
repeat
even
them.
hear.
I
I,
know
didn't
I-
even hear one question. I just heard him go dogs, and I'm
I know. I was like, I didn't hear what you were like.
What's the deal?
You were
Why
like
would-
this. You were like,
I don't
You're
break up the whole freaking show, and then when it comes to these questions, I break up. I don't get it. I don't know.
all I heard was, ats or dogs. Dogs.
This is so stupid. What the hell?
And then you were like, ands. I was like, the Strokes. I think you said bands.
No,
Question
no.
mark.
Have you ever been
So
in a
I-
band?
That was funny because I heard that whole thing, and he said, "Have you ever been in a band?" He goes, "The Strokes." I was like, "What?"
That's an answer. The answer.
Little known facts
I'm
about
gonna-
Justin.
I'm
There we
gonna-
go.
Fun fact, everybody. I'm a member of the Strokes.
I remember. I think I repeated the question.
I was in the
Toast?
stroke.
I think 3
And then that
Toast?
one where he said towards the end, you're asking about some paper, filling something out, and he said yes, like as soon
I
as you
know.
started the question.
I know. God, there's got to be a better way to do this. Okay,
That was
I'm
awesome.
I'm going to give him 3.
That was
extra
the best
points
one.
because I think I repeated the question 3 times. I think there's 3 times where I can discernibly say that I had to repeat the question. So that puts you in a tie with Fud.
This is horseshit. That's our fine. We could have a fucking question off.
I think
You
we're
know what?
gonna do
I
that
think we're-
anyway.
I think we're going to do that. Thanks for playing, Justin. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
That was greatness. That was excellent.
Overtime. Let's do this.
Okay, so this is the part of the show where we have our Discord and Twitter questions. So, Easy, you're up.
So we've got a nice number of questions tonight, so we'll go ahead and kick it off. Kingsley Mack asks, favorite D1 story mission? You can answer it on a future episode, which is this one. So this one was asked a couple weeks ago. Mine are a close tie between the last array, where you see the satellites opening up and the hive jump ships start beaming in. At this point, I was like, wow, this game is cool. A close second is Last Rites. I actually had not done the Crota raid yet when I first played that mission, so thought that it was a cool area. So what is y'all's favorite D1 story mission? Do y'all have one?
Yeah, I think it was it's the first one. It's the one when you first wake up. Because I remember playing it and I was scared. It's like, I don't like horror games. What's going on here? It's really dark, and you're in that big area that you walk, through the building, and then all of a sudden it opens up and there's shit crawling, there's fallen crawling around everywhere, and you don't know what to make of it. You don't have a weapon or anything. And then you get the Kabastov. And yeah, I think that's my favorite one.
That was a great mission. I really enjoyed that. I'm the same as you. I'm not a big horror fan. And I thought that the game was going to be much different than it ended up being. But that first mission was kind of like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah. For me, my favorite mission was the one, I want to say it was with maybe the Dark Below, possibly. Or No. It was the Taken King. It was the one mission where it ended, where you beat it, and it said mission complete. And then it came back and was like, no, it's still going on, and you had to run for your life because all the Taken were popping up.
So that was the Dark Below, where you went all the way down in the moon, and you defeated that ogre.
Yeah,
it said mission complete, and then you had to haul ass get out of there back to the surface. Yeah, but that's the mission that ended up being the Whisper mission, or not the Whisper, but whatever the hell it was called. That was the mission that you had to go to, and on your way back, you hit that secret doorway,
right?
Yep. And then what was it called? I can't remember what the damn gun was called in D1.
It was the Taniks. It ended up taking you through Taniks.
Yeah, the Tanik strike, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I think one of my favorite missions was the very first Dreadnought mission, where you went to the Dreadnought, and it was a fairly easy mission. You just had to take out those 3 crystals, but just that space when they brought that to D1 and the build up to it, because you had that awesome space battle, that awesome cinematic that they built into the game leading up into that mission. I mean, I really enjoyed landing on the Dreadnought for the first time and running around. I thought it was excellent.
For me, I would say the very first mission, you go on the moon. I would land up on the moon, and it was so barren and empty and so quiet. I kept looking around going, something's going to attack my ass. I know it.
Right.
I know something's going to get me. So once I went up to the computer and, you engage something on the computer to turn on the station, everything fires up because everything's been empty for so long. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in fact, we're going back to the moon. I'm really excited. It was one of my favorite places to go. It was just, you could look out. You could look out and just see it just went on forever. Just rock, nasty moon rock just everywhere. And then you'd look up in the sky, you'd see all these satellites that got blown up. Yeah. That was awesome.
Okay, so we're gonna have to get the short version of this. But Warcry asks, "How did you propose to your wife?" I gave her an engagement ring and a box of chicken nuggets. Okay.
That's awesome.
For me, very simple. My wife is very meticulous about what she wants. So I didn't dare pick out a ring without her, or she would have returned it. So we went and picked it out together. And on the way home, she wanted to look at it. She wanted to wear it. And then she ended up she was wearing it, and she just kind of was looking at it. And I was like, "You just want to kind of keep it on?" She was like, "Yeah." And so we were engaged.
That's romantic as fuck.
I know, man. I mean, I knock it out of the park, dude.
My story is that I picked the ring out on my own. I knew what she was looking for. And then there was this little lake, little river kind of thing. And we were always there. We'd go hiking or something like that around there. So it kind of was sentimental to at least me. And then I proposed to her there. And this is why I say to me, because she's like, this is great. But you know what? I can't tell people that you proposed to me here. So she's like, the answer is yes, but you're going to have to propose to me on Christmas, because that was like the next day. So I was like, okay, sure.
So, boy. So my wife and I, we used to go to this bar, and like we met working at Ruby Tuesdays. And we used, like, everybody that worked there would go out to this bar that was close, like after Ruby's would close at like 10 o'clock or whenever the mall would close. And so everybody would go there afterwards. So we were there, and I was actually bartending at this other restaurant as well. And I worked in like this little fucking tiki bar. So I had to wear a Hawaiian shirt and the whole 9 yards. And so I met her and some of our friends at the bar. And this is when I was going through my Long Island iced tea phase. And so I was wasted. And a friend of mine from high school that was going to the University of Delaware too, she was a server there. So she came up to my wife and I was like, "Oh my God, you guys are so cute. When are you going to get married?" And I was like, whatever. So I walked down to the grocery store that was in the strip mall that the bar was in, and I put 50 cents in one of those ring machines, and out popped this ring. And, most of the rings, like, you could squeeze them and make them tighter, but this was like a real ring. So I went back to the bar, and I got down on my hands and knees, and I proposed to her with a ring that came out of a machine at the grocery store. And that's how I proposed.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Me and my wife met very, very young. We were very young when we met. I've been married for quite a while. I think there's a question later to ask about that. We dated for about 3 years, and I don't know. It's really weird, man. I've dated a lot of girls, and I just knew this was the one. It was just a feeling. It comes over you, and we're very much alike. And one night, I just went and bought the ring. When you're young, it's called a down payment on a ring, and you make a payment on the ring. So I did that. I had it all planned. I was going to go down to Lake Eola in Orlando, which is a big park. In the middle of Orlando, it's like a big circle. It's like a big track around a little fake pond with a fountain. I stuck it in my pocket, and it was bulging out. And then there's homeless and vagrants that live down there too. So I'm like paranoid as hell that someone's gonna rob us or something. And I made 3 or 4 laps around that park, and finally I said, "This is it. I gotta do it." So there was an extra little fountain on the side. I brought her over to it. Said, "Let's sit down here for a second." And then just out of the blue, I said, if I don't do this, I'm never going to do it. So I got down on one knee, pulled the box out of my pocket, and she was blown away. She wasn't expecting it. And she said yes. That was that. That was it for me.
Very nice. I'm going to package these next 2 together. Scum Death. When we're all old in retirement homes, we'll be playing multiplayer shooters and co-op games between taking our medication. And I'm going to tie that with what was the very first web page you ever saw? Don't say porn. Mine was E-Bombs World. I don't even know what that is.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was up there. E-Bombs World is like a weird kind of news, funny stories, things that are kind of like fucked up and gross, and it was like a mashup. It was like a Reddit before Reddit was anything. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm hoping that I plan on gaming for the rest of my life. Like I said, I'm 43. I'm probably more into gaming now than I have ever been, and I don't see that dying off anytime soon. So yes, I plan on playing until I'm dead. First web page. I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that question. I don't even know what the first web page was that I saw. I just remember back in the day seeing DOS for the first time and thinking it was amazing. Mm-hmm. So
I think my first was I didn't have a computer growing up. I mean, I don't know many. The only computer I used was at school or at the library. But then, I guess like college age, I had a friend and he had a computer, and he was the first one I knew that had the internet. And I went on to this site. I was learning how to play guitar at the time. So I would go on this site that had like guitar tablature and stuff like that. And I think that was like one of the first places I ever went on. Yeah. Cause I was in somebody's living room. I couldn't look at porn then.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
You gonna be gaming in retirement homes, Justin?
I don't know. Maybe.
I still think we're gonna be the first senior citizen gaming community. I think we're poised to be in that position. I mean, I'm sure there's some older gamers out there now. They make fun of them on YouTube. These guys, these old ladies picking up controllers and not knowing what the hell they're doing. That doesn't count to me. But my first web page was America Online chat room, and I said, "Oh, a chat room. All right." I got in there, and I think the first thing I saw was, "How big is your penis?" And I was like, "What? What the hell?
What chat room were you in?
What is this?" Well, I mean, I think I don't know. I guess I was trying to look at porn, but dude, back when I got on the internet, it was first dial-up, and it was like, it was the Wild West, man. There wasn't much to really go check on. I mean, I make Napster. If you talk about a non-porn, Napster, I guess, was my first webpage I went to. And
yep.
Dude, I'll be gaming. I told my wife I'll have a virtual reality headset on, and I'll be on a treadmill, one of those multi-directional treadmills like they have in that one movie, and I'll be doing it till I fall of a heart attack, I guess. I don't know.
Nice. Yeah, I plan on gaming into my old age, and then also my first webpage that I remember looking at was the old ass Yahoo webpage. So
yeah, maybe like Ask Jeeves.
Oh, I remember that.
Lycos.
Yeah, it's funny you said Napster. It made me think of LimeWire. That was another one of those.
So let's get moving. Chubby Wizard asks, how do you feel about the season pass and the new reward system for free to play versus premium pass people? Have any of you guys ordered Shadowkeep yet? Yes, for Shadowkeep. Nice. Season pass, I'm down with the model. It whatever.
Absolutely. I think it's great. If you choose not to do it, then you still get stuff. I don't see what the big fucking deal is. If you pay, then you get more stuff. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about $10 for the pass. Come on, guys. $10.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I mean, I buy popcorn at the movie theater and it's $10. I mean, come on. We're not talking about a lot of money here. I'm all for it. I mean, anything that Destiny... I mean, people are so entitled these days. Anything Destiny adds over the years, it's bonus, dude. We already love the game. So
I think it would be funny if they sold something exotic for like $50.
Nah, this isn't.
That would be great. Then I could start competing with these people.
And don't get me started with Fortnite. When they charge $15 to $25 for a skin, people don't complain. They're like, well, it's free to play. Give me a...
Yeah, I took Fortnite away from my boys, and there's got to be like $300 worth of skins sitting in his account.
It's crazy.
Oh, really? I'm interested. You've got to tell that story. I'm because they used to be like really into it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and they were too into it, and it was, I don't know, it was changing their attitudes. I just didn't see it as something that was healthy. Like, is it fun? Yeah, I was like, oh, it's cool. My kids are like gaming, and then I was like, this isn't, maybe it's not the best thing, because they're still young, and I didn't like hearing like the yelling and the upset about this, and I don't know. I didn't like it, and I didn't think that they needed it. And they play Minecraft now, and that's great. At least that's it's building. They're being constructive, and using their imaginations and their mind, and crafting and doing things like that. So I'm all for that.
I was watching. I watched Vice News tonight on HBO. It's like a daily news story thing, and it's on everything about the world. And it has it's Vice. It's Vice, and they were talking about video game addiction with kids, and it kind of hit home. I mean, I could realize how some of these kids, that's all they focus on. I mean, they don't focus on going
Yeah, that's why I cut back, and I don't, I mean, I still play in front of them occasionally, like if they're watching TV or something like that, and I sit down here for a few minutes, but I don't have enough time to sit down here and play during the day while all the kids are up. I'm doing something, but, I didn't, there's better messages I could send to them than just kind of, when it's a beautiful day out, to sit inside and play a video game as opposed to going outside. Like when I was a kid, like I had a Nintendo. I didn't sit inside and play it all day.
Nope.
There's other things to do.
You always took a break and went outside and played. Your parents would tell you to.
Yeah, exactly.
Hazel, do you want to answer that, or you feel like you've already...
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same. I'm on the fence with this pass and just that, I mean, I'll do it and get free shit. And I probably will end up buying it just for the armor.
Okay, Scumdeath has the next 4 questions, so I'll do 2 at a time. All right, do you have cheese on every meal you make? No. I feel like that's a quick one.
No.
Okay.
Not every meal, but a lot of them.
Okay, so the next 2, he must have been going through his attic or something. I bought some lovely new slippers yesterday. Are slippers the best footwear? I don't know about slippers, but I wear sandals like flip-flops 99% of the time.
I wear, so during the winter months, I do have a pair of slippers that I wear around the house. I just like wearing my slippers around the house. But yeah, in the summertime, I'm wearing flip-flops as well.
Yeah, no, I'm barefoot when I'm in the house.
See, I can't be barefoot. I got 2 nasty dogs that lick themselves everywhere.
Between kids and dogs, like what's sticking to my feet?
I tell you what I have in Florida, because we don't really have cold weather here, is I have a pair of old Crocs that I bought a long time ago. I have them out. I have them in my front door and my back door, and every time I go outside to get the paper or to go get the mail or do something outside, they go on so easy and are nice and comfortable. So I do have a pair of slippers too, because my feet do get cold in the winter. I'm not used to all this cold weather.
I'm like a grandma when it's the wintertime.
I
Like
hear
around
you.
my house, I'm wearing I'm wearing sweat shorts and a sweatshirt. It's like when I get home, it's like Mr. Rogers. I change my outfit and put on my home outfit.
So we've got like 15 more. So we'll get through a couple more, and then y'all tell me when we need to cut it, and we'll add what's left to the rest, or to next week. So Scumdeath asks the next two. Just found my old whistle in the attic. I've been blowing it a bit much, and now the missus has confiscated it. When was the last time you had something confiscated? I had an NWA tape confiscated from my parents when I was like in middle school. But people don't take stuff from me.
I thought you were going to say your balls.
I was going to say that, damn it.
I have not had the surgery, so I consider myself still having my balls.
Oh, okay. I was talking about your wife's purse, but anyway.
I can't remember the last time I had something confiscated. I remember when I was a kid, I opened up a present before Christmas and I couldn't get the wrapper back on, so I only wrapped up like the top half of it, and that was discovered pretty quickly, and I never got that Christmas present. I think it was like a commemorative coin or something like that, and I was like, what is this? I have no idea what it is. I can't shake it. It's not doing anything. And I was so curious, and I never got it.
I mean, I've had tons of things confiscated. I just can't remember. It was long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, as an adult man, I don't get stuff confiscated anymore. If anything, I take stuff, and I confiscate stuff from my kids when they were younger. Like PSA, phones are the greatest things in the world with your kids because you can own them if you take their phone.
That is true. I don't know either for myself. For me and my job, I'm pretty much taking stuff from other people. So I'm confiscating cell phones from my team and stuff like that all the time. Like, yeah, keep that shit away.
So next question is controversial. You do not have to answer it if you don't want to. Scumdeath asks, question for the podcast: playing games with your mates or watching a movie with your partner? Me is watching a movie with my partner.
Yeah, same here. I love my buddies, but I go to sleep next to my wife every night.
Yes, sir.
There it is. Exactly. Same.
I go to movies every week with my wife, and then I play video games when she goes to bed.
Okay, Laz asks, if you could have Funko make a pop of you, what would your pop be doing or holding? Do I even want to know the answer to any of these? I even want to know what y'all's answers are.
Mine would just have an afro again.
Oh my god, that picture's back in my head again.
I'd probably just have a golf club. I'd just
Golf
be
club.
somehow swinging a golf club.
Mine would have car keys because I feel like I'm always fucking driving somebody somewhere.
The taxi. Yeah, I thought you were gonna say a golf disc in your hand.
Yeah, I don't get to do that enough, unfortunately.
I'm not into Funko Pops. I'll just plead the fifth on that one.
Okay. Flip ass just finished watching the Joker trailer and was wondering who is your favorite Joker from the past or future movies. Phoenix looked good, but I think Heath is my favorite so far. Yeah, I think Heath probably is my favorite.
Nicholson.
I'd probably have to go with Mark Hamill.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was thinking that too. After
What?
the fact.
Yeah.
Am I missing
Animated.
something? Oh.
Yeah, he was the Joker and animated in all the games.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get that one. Went over my head.
Was that pretty good? His voice acting job was really, really good.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's on point.
Yeah.
Really?
Animated series. Check it out.
I learn something
Cool.
every day.
Skull Reaper asks the next two: how do you deal with spiders? I won't go into the rest of the question, but are y'all scared of spiders at all? I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I am deathly fucking afraid of them.
No, you're not.
I make
Yes,
a living,
I am.
I make a living killing spiders.
I kill them with
I call
extreme
Gatr.
prejudice.
In an alternate life, you never meet your wife. Where do you think you would be?
Bussing tables. If it wasn't for her, she motivates me. Like I feel like I wouldn't have accomplished the things that made me who I am. I think I would have done. I think I would have carried on probably doing like the bare minimum. She's a driving force for sure.
Yep, I definitely. I think I would be dead for sure.
I'd probably still be living with my parents.
I'd be a lost soul. My wife my life made sense when I got married. So when I met my wife, it all came together.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I've been with my wife longer than I haven't been with her, so
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine a world where she isn't in it.
So, how long have y'all been married? This is a question from me, actually.
18 years.
Wow. 10 years for me.
9 years for me, but I met my wife in 2001. So we dated off and on for like a decade almost.
I know Dad Bod thought he had the record. Sorry, Dad Bod. As of November, I will be married 27 years total.
Oh, that's awesome.
30 total.
Wow.
I've known my wife. We dated 3 years before I got married.
Wow. That's awesome. Old Metallica question. This has probably been asked before, but if you could change, it's pretty much Metallica. Would you have Cliff Burton still? I would say yes. The Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppet albums, I feel like, are far and away the best albums that they ever made.
I'll say yes too, because I mean that was an accident. If that hadn't happened, he would probably still be there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Question for, let's see, more of a request, I guess, for your favorite guest. Please describe your favorite casual outfit.
Fucking Jay.
I know. I saw this one
I know exactly. He's fucking Jay. What's my favorite casual outfit? I would say I like it would be a fall outfit, corduroys, sneakers, a plain white shirt, and a thin V-neck sweater.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Sounds sexy.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
Next question. RNG Gatr asks, why are Warlocks and Titans the best classes in Destiny? Why do Hunters suck? Next question is from Laz.
Good question.
According to
good
the
question,
article,
Gator. Good question.
according to this article from Nintendo, we'll have 20 NES games available for purchase to play as of today. Of the games on the list, which did you play and are excited to see them on Switch? I just kind of have a general view on old games. I think they suck today, and I don't play them. Do y'all have any kind of anything going once, going twice? Crickets? Okay. Gear Dad. When did each of you know you wanted to be part of the Destiny community, especially this corner of it? I think that's more for Justin. Like, when did you know you wanted to be a part of this community?
When I realized there was one, when it wasn't just a game, that there was a community behind it. I thought it was nice to be part of something that that you enjoy. Mm-hmm. So it was like a bigger thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I think I've expressed this on other shows before. When I shut this microphone off and when I turn my PS4 off, I have zero outlets to talk about gaming. Like nobody I work with, none of my friends, family, nobody has any interest to hear about gaming.
Those are great questions, guys. We're running a little long tonight, and we have some people that need to have to work in the morning. So we appreciate you submitting them. We will the questions that we did not answer tonight will be pushed first thing on next week's show. So we'll definitely answer them. So as a final part of our show, we want to pick our songs for our Guardian Down playlist. It's a little sprinkling of what the three of us and our guest, of course, like to listen to, and we invite you to listen to. Just search for Guardian Down Cast playlist on Spotify. So, Justin, you're our guest of honor. You go first. Sure.
So my two songs this week, it's tough. I was really trying to think of some, like, what I wanted to put on. I don't know. I don't stress this much over our podcast playlist. But I started listening to some stuff. And so the two songs I picked are actually songs that are, I like it when a song is like a bunch of different songs in one. Like Band on the Run is like 3 different songs, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes is like 4 different songs all in one. So I chose You Are My Face by Wilco. It's a fantastic song. I love Wilco. I just think they're a great band. They're bluesy, they're kind of country, they're kind of folky, they do like new age stuff. I really love that band. So I chose that song.
He's super, super talented. That lead singer,
Jeff Tweedy.
Yeah,
he's amazing. And then the other song I chose was a song called "Wake Up" by Arcade Fire. It's just a really happy. It's just one of these songs that makes me feel good when I hear it. And again, it has like multiple layers to it. A bunch of like, different songs kind of all in one, different melodies and changes to it. So I enjoy those songs, and I hope your listeners will as well.
I'm glad someone
Cool.
picked an Arcade Fire song because I love that group.
I'll go next.
Easy,
I
okay.
picked a song called A Long Way to Go on the album of Walk Into the Storm by a band called The Lone Below. Just sit back. It's got great piano. It's got great melodies. Like listen to the lyrics. It's an incredible song. And then another song called Denise, I Don't Want to See You Cry on the album Penny Days, and the band is Night Moves. And those are my selections.
I picked I Need You by Mark Rabouillet. This guy makes his own music. So if you ever check him out on YouTube, it's a pretty fascinating thing to see. And then also Caught Up by Death from Above, 1979. Just a nice kind of old-fashioned rock song.
My first song is See the Light by Ghost, which ironically I heard from the Dad Tales podcast. Yeah, I love that song. I don't know what it is. It's not real hard compared to the rest of their stuff. But man, it's a great song.
That's an excellent song.
I get that in my head and I'll just hum it all day. My next pick is Mary Jane's Last Dance by Tom Petty.
Very cool.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace. Rest
down
in
with
peace.
that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs.
That's an extra song they wrote for the greatest hits, and it ended up being like one of their most famous songs.
Oh yeah.
It was like a throwaway thing they just put on the greatest hits album.
Oh, it's a great song as well, and I love Tom Petty, and he did grow up in the same town I did, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, another really good. I was listening to Petty the other day, and one of my favorite songs of his is it's not a really popular song, but Southern Accents. Man, I thought about putting that one on there. That's such a good. It brings me to tears. It's so good. Like he just has.
I mean, he
really
wasn't the most attractive guy, but holy crap, did he know how to sing? That guy was amazing.
I had a friend in elementary school. His mom looked like Tom Petty. It was really weird.
I know what you mean. Oh, man. Well, hey, guys, I think that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're done with the show. I just wanted
It's only 4:00 in the morning.
It is. It's not too bad at all. See, I told you guys it should be easy. I wanted to give a quick shout out to one of our new followers on Twitter, Red Queen, a.k.a. Red Queen 98. Thanks for following us. Just wanted to mention that. And let's move right to where people can contact and find you, Mr. JCJesse.
You can find me at JCJesse on Twitter. And you listen to podcasts, look for Distinguished Gentleman Presents. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Thank you, man.
I'm BDGO210 on PlayStation, Easy Pooty on Xbox, and my Twitter is VasoVA22.
I'm Hazelnut, Hazelnt on Xbox and PlayStation, and the Hazelnut on Twitter.
All right, great. You can contact me on the Twitter at Todd the Gatr. My gamer tag is GATR, all caps, underscores in between on PS4 and Steam. And you can find me on Xbox. My new gamer tag, GATR space GDC. Please send me a friend request there because with crossplay, I don't have a lot of friends on that account yet. And I also have a YouTube channel, GATR, same way. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, Stitcher, and soon YouTube will start adding some streaming eventually. You can also email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com. We have a Discord as well. Just search for Guardian Downcast. I'll post a link in the show notes as well, as always. Thank you very much, guys. And later, Guardian.
See ya.
Have a good one.
See you guys.
We're going to ask you how you got that name tonight.
Yeah, I was born with it. It's really easy.
It's really easy to answer.
Gatr, stop ruining all the bits.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Using up all my good material.
Sorry.
Just like ravenous for anything to do with the boys. Rubbing like a color on my ass, rubbing a different color on my balls. It was just so good. I'll try and sneak up on them, but they're fucking fast. All right, guys. Let's talk about my rider. So I like hot baths before the show, foot rubs. That's you, Hazel. I need 1 bottle of Fireball, a 12-pack of assorted tropical flavored White Claw, and finally 3 packs of Jewel Pods.